An introduction, right? The 17th century. It was a time in England, Scotland, and Wales where there was everything from plagues, great fires of London, a king's head was chopped off. You had a civil war. It's a time when magic was on the decline and science was rising up, and it's a perfect era for a role-playing game because you've got so much chaos going on, and all I've done with the End of Kings is I've turned all the superstitions and paranoias of the period into facts. So ghosts, ghoulies, vampires, werewolves, demons, witches were all very real in the End of Kings, and obviously that led to most people in power needing to create powerful defenses against such things. So it's a time of a lot of magic, a lot of fighting, a massive civil war, and in amongst that we've got us. In front of us, a group of wayfarers, sometimes known as adventurists, sometimes known as skirmishers, who will be hunting down evil, perhaps doing some form of errand for a member of the nobility, perhaps becoming a member of the armies in the Civil War itself as skirmishers. So this is the backbone behind the game. One of the first things you must realise about this is that it's at a time when Charles I, who was the king at the time, had spent the last 11 years without raising parliament at all. This meant that all the nobility in the country didn't have a voice, even though we're giving him loads and loads of money. He had also tried to sell a new religious book to the Scottish, who were Presbyterians and were very, very uber Protestant. And they rejected the book. And for some very, very bizarre reason, Charles I decided to muster an army to force the Scottish to get this book going. So he opened Parliament for the first time in 11 years, and they immediately rejected him if they weren't going to answer what Charles I himself should be doing to the nobility in England. So he shut Parliament back down again and starts heading up the country, gathering together as many men as he could from his allied nobility. And there were a few of them, but there were enough. So by the time he'd hit a place called Berwick, there were 15,000 soldiers following him. This is the present day. This is 1639, around May time. You guys are in a tavern. It's called the Wherryman Arms. It's in a city called Brancaster. I will show you that now. And you are aware of, let me just get to the right one. So if you have a look, you should be able to see it on the screen coming up any moment. This is the city of Brancaster. Is that okay for everybody? Can everyone see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
The Wherryman's Arms, if you have a look to the south, there is Brancaster Castle. It's in a county called Renwickshire. For the sake of the game, this is a made-up county, and it's includes the real-world Ripon, which is in the south of the county, and it's just north of that area. So it's in northwest Yorkshire. On the western side, you've got Lancashire, and then you've got the northern counties. So it is touching the northern counties, which means that what Charles I is actually doing is actually having some impact on Renwickshire and Brancaster, because Brancaster is spending getting most of its money from trade with Scotland, particularly textiles. Which means what Charles I is doing is effectively cutting off the financial supply to Renwickshire. The reason why this matters to you is because you're getting work from the nobility in the area. And all you're aware of at the moment is the nobility in Renwickshire are spending most of the time trying to decide which side they're on. Are they with Parliament? Are they with Charles I? What you do know is the head of Brancaster, a guy called Craven, he is full on with the king, to the point where he himself has gone with over 500 men to accompany Charles north to Berwick. This is as things stand at the moment. So the overall city itself is sort of like on tenterhooks. It's in a state of mild anxiety that you can't put your finger on. You yourselves, if you look here, I'm just going to point it out, just there. Can you see on the map? The Wherryman Street, can you see it panning in? Okay, I'm just wondering if this works. So this area here, there's a tavern called the Wherryman's Inn. You yourselves are all gathered in there, and you're enjoying a pint. You've probably had a recent adventure that has given you a little bit of money, and you're deciding what to do with yourselves. When you notice a lad walk into the bar, he goes up to the barman. He's probably in his early 20s. He's wearing a blue tunic. It indicates that he's certainly not a commoner. He's not wearing a wig or anything. He's got his hair is quite long, quite tasseled. He looks like he's been busy at work all day. So although he's not a commoner, he looks commonish because of what he looks like. And he puts a coin down on the table, obviously orders a drink because the landlord then gives him the drink. Then he takes his hand away from the coin. And all you are aware of is the landlord saying something, the lad grabbing hold of the coin, pretty much swearing at him and storming out. And so I'm offering you guys now a chance. If you want to, do you want to listen in to what might have been said? Do you want to have any insight into? So you've got, with your characters, you've got various skills, such as listening, such as spotting hidden, such as and it's up to you guys to volunteer this. So as we're starting the game, and some of you haven't played before, there's also a perception check that you might want to make if you want to sort of look into that scene as it's happening, or just to sort of think about what you're looking at. Or perhaps you're not bothered at all. It's up to you. It seems like a strange incident.
I'm interested in the coin he's put down. Is he trying to spend a Scottish pound in England?
That's not legal tender.
Strangely, that is an equivalent of what it looked like. Strangely, that's the equivalent of what it looked like. The landlord you're not sure whether the landlord has accepted the coin or not.
You described the lad dressed in blue, not necessarily nobility. Any ideas of what sort of trade or profession he could be in?
Okay, if you want to do a local knowledge check.
Okay.
Did he have a sword? It wasn't like in a military uniform. No.
A very good question. Certainly not wearing a sword. It was more of a lad that dresses to fit his position, but doesn't behave as if he fits the position. So it's sort of like he's dressed to look as if he's in the gentry. Social status is a massive deal here. If you had an impoverished member of the nobility and an extremely wealthy member of the gentry, the nobility would be higher up.
Yeah.
Just because of a matter of his blue blood. So the social status of everybody. One of you is a witch hunter. You're almost outside of all this. Because you're a witch hunter, you are regarded as a priest. You're regarded as a member who represents God in battle. And so most people would give you deference. Even nobility would give you a type of respect. So that's something that you know as a character.
Okay. So his coin caught my eye. Might be an opportunity later on. I'm thinking he might be a page or something. So I'm going to have a go at listen.
Okay. Have a go. So it's percentage roll, and you have to roll the target or lower. There are modifiers to these rolls.
17 out of 38. So that's
17. That sounds good.
38%. So yeah. If it's similar.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, I see the flash of the coin. I see that he's a young lad, probably might be a page or something. So I'm sort of like, might be an opportunity for a bit of skullduggery later on.
Okay. Well, you're listening to the conversation, and obviously everyone else in the room will now be party to it because you've heard it. So you've got the landlord, and he goes, "Nice to see you, Will. You look tired. I must have had a hard day's work. How's your father?" And he sort of says, "Yeah, it's been pretty tough. Anyway, I really do fancy a pint." And he slaps the coin on the table and says, "Just give me a pint of your best ale, sir." And the landlord turns round, hands back the ale. he reveals the coin and he looks down and goes, "That coin don't look British to me. Hold on, that's Spanish." And then he looks up at the boy and says, "What do you mean? What are you accusing me of? I am not a Catholic." And he picks hold of the coin and he turns and he leaves.
Yeah.
Trying to see what I have. Did I thinking Spanish galleon or the blue?
Is anyone else doing anything else?
Well, you asked for a local knowledge check,
Yes, please.
and probably setting a brand new record for ineptitude. I rolled a 6% and still fail.
Tell me what your chances. Is it 5%?
It is 5%.
Because this is where I have a slight insight in that I know his character.
Absolutely.
He is a son of a merchant. And you know that the merchants have got warehouses and homes just south of the main river. So if we go back to the map, you're looking at about this area around here. So you're here. Yeah?
Yeah.
And it's around here somewhere that he must have come from. And he is obviously the son of a merchant, and the merchant classes in Brancaster are considered to be almost up there with the gentry. They're certainly yeomanry. Anybody else thinking about anything else? Or
So do families have particular colours to wear, or do the colours like me?
only members of the nobility would wear colours. What was very, very strange when the Civil War itself broke out is that no colours were worn and you couldn't tell the different sides apart from each other. So they started, just for the sake of who they were going to attack, to actually start wearing colours. And on the odd occasion, by accident, both of them turned up with the same sets of colours. So it's sort of... So there wasn't actually army uniforms as such. And certainly what you'd have among families wouldn't be colours so much of crests. So there'd be family crests, but certainly you wouldn't expect members of the yeomanry to have crests. You might have a owner of a warehouse who was an experienced merchant to have a label that stands for their company.
Can I ask the landlord? So landlord.
So you get off your chair, you go over to the landlord. Okay, because everyone else do a perception check. It's a percentage dice and it's on your sheet.
What is it? Perception.
As you're getting up, so you get up and you go over to the landlord. You need to roll perception check as well as you're doing that.
I failed.
Which group is that in?
It's
You go on the front of the sheet, top right.
Top.
And that's
I'll not be passing that with 91.
Oh, I got 24 and a 70.
fantastic. Okay, so it's a percentage dice roll, so you roll 24. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. You're a soldier, aren't you? What's your character's name? Sorry, Richard.
Richard.
Okay, Richard Teach. Richard has gone up to the bar. You notice that as he's gone up to the bar, further back in the bar itself, two other people that had been canoodling one of the harlots stand up, sort of quickly almost push her aside. She got a really angry look on her face, and they immediately start heading out of the pub.
Have they just tried giving her some foreign
In the meantime,
Can I get up and follow him out? Because I was going to suggest following this young man, see where he was going.
okay, are you going to communicate any instructions with any of the people?
I shall just I won't say anything, but I'll kind of catch their attention and say I'm emotion that I'm
okay. So obviously you're free. I mean, it's one of the big things is obviously talk to each other in character. So what are you going to ask the landlord?
So I don't notice the two guys getting up, leaving.
You don't know.
No.
Because you're focused on the landlord and you don't notice. It's only because they're sort of behind you.
So, landlord, is there a problem? What was he giving you a fake coin?
Roll an influence check.
Ha. Not happening. 88.
Oh wow.
Well, I don't know what it is to you, but it's between me and him.
Who was he? Who is he?
I'd rather ask who you are, sir.
I'm a customer. That's who I am.
You're a very nosy customer, and he's a friend of mine, so I'm not going to let you know who he is.
But he's not a Catholic friend of yours. I did hear him say that.
He pauses for a moment, looks at you earnestly. Seriously, sir, who are you? What is your profession?
I'm a soldier, but am I? What am I? Am I for Parliament?
You'll be a soldierman. Well, it's up to you. You're at the moment, this is what I've been saying, is nobody knows who they are and for what. And it's sort of like, if you've been working for a certain member of the nobility for the last couple of years, you might be tagging along with their loyalties to the king. But at the moment, we're in this really horrible state of flux where nobody knows.
Obviously, my lord hasn't.
Yeah, I mean, you've been
freelance for a while. So yeah, I'll just say I'm a soldier. I'm just waiting for orders. Where tomorrow?
Take it from me, the lad is harmless, and I don't believe he's got a Catholic bone in his body. In fact, I know for a certain that his father has spent the last few weeks praying in the cathedral after he lost his wife. So they are a tragic family, and they've been under tragic circumstances. So please do not pursue them, sir. You are heading out. You go out of the pub. So let's get back to the map a little bit. And you're about here. You can see that by the time you've gone out of the pub, the lad is that part of the street.
Okay.
You can also see that halfway between him and you are aware of the two blokes that are slowly following him, and very much so following him.
Yeah. Can I close the distance with him a little bit so I can get a better and try and maybe get a handle on who these two might be?
Excellent. Okay, so I want you to make a perception check.
Okay.
So what are the rest of you doing?
I am going to put aside my glass of Madeira, pick up my kerchief, nicely scented with lavender, and head out and follow my colleague. Because I'm wearing my very, very fetching, bright pink dress coat, I'm not exactly going to blend in if I'm in a close pursuit, but I may be able to follow a colleague at a similar distance.
Okay. All right. So yes. Yeah. Just blend in. All right.
Sorry, am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Oh, so it's a 25 on a 70.
Okay.
I had been planning on following the kid out the door.
Okay.
I think as everyone else seems to be going that way as well.
Fantastic.
I'll stand in the vicinity of Percival's character because
excellent.
He'll distract everyone else from seeing.
Excellent. So what it leaves one of you to decide what you're going to be doing, because Richard's questioning the landlord. The others seem to be heading out into the street just to follow what's going on. Yeah. Okay. You're speeding up a little bit. Whoever these people are, the one thing that you do know is you're suspecting that they may be your first inclination is to think that they're a member of an upright group, maybe the Bounding Men. The Bounding Men in Brancaster are supposed to be the equivalent of the Mafia.
Oh, lovely.
This is serious stuff. This is definitely not a lad that's picked up the wrong coin. There's something else going on here. The way that these two are walking has got a sort of like we own the street look about it. You haven't seen them before, but there is something that immediately makes you worried for the lad.
So these aren't a common sight here in the town.
They are a common sight, certainly around here. Well, here, if you look to the east, Summoner's Row, this is where all the spellcasters hang out.
Right.
Around here is where a lot of the lower merchant people hang out. So this area is not it. If you're a complete idiot and completely off your head with drink, then you might get the odd thief turning up and trying their best. But it's only a fool that would try and just do some sort of like
But
highway robbery around here.
This wouldn't be the kind of so are they? So like you say, are they kind of like mafia or so?
The way they're behaving makes you feel as if they are confident enough to stride boldly down the street. And
but I mean, they're more of a like you say, we're alluding to the mafia, more like organized criminals rather than just like things.
Yes, absolutely. There is. I mean, you don't know a huge amount about the organized crime syndicates around here, but you do know that ultimately they do have conversations with Lord Craven himself. It's part of the substructure of the whole city, and there is a sort of a thought of negotiations. They are you either work with them or they cause trouble.
Okay.
So there's a bit of that, but you're far away from all that. You're one of God's men, so they won't bother you. You haven't really encountered them. It's not your world.
No.
So when you see these two walking down the street, it's your instincts as a witch hunter that make you see the way they're walking, the stance that they're walking with, that makes you get that feeling that these guys are confident to be up to no good.
Yeah. I'll maintain this distance and just keep following, just curious as to what they're going to do.
Okay, so what do you do?
You're not intending to intervene at this point, anyway.
Okay, you're still in the pub. What are you intending to do? Are you going to have any more questions for the landlord?
I'm going to order 4 ales and a Madeira. My good man, your best ales, and then I'll turn around to my friends, and they've all gone. Or is John still there? Have you gone out?
No, I went out as well. Sorry, I cut off mid-sentence.
That's okay.
Obviously, I was intrigued by the coin.
Of course, yes.
Hey, this could be either a bit of a dodgy deal going on, or I could, if he's that upset, I could relieve him of the coins. Maybe.
So you're heading. Okay. So you're heading out as well in order to catch up with the guys.
Not necessarily rob him, but
no.
He seems to be these coins seem to be causing him some stress, and I'm pretty sure I got a bit of a gold glint. Unless I'm mistaken, you know.
So I'm Billy No Mates. Everyone's gone to the toilet. So that seems a bit weird.
It's almost a comedy moment.
It's
you turn around back to the landlord, and he just looks at you and go, "They went that way."
Do I notice that that scrumpet?
Yes, you do notice the scrumpet. She's sort of, you can see her on a bench by herself and go, I never, not in all my days, have I been so rudely treated. And then she looks over at you and goes, "My darling, would you help me in my hour of need? I have been spurned by these gentlemen."
Oh, how could they do that to such a charming lady as you?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I'm halfway there, but turn around and she was out the door as well.
The landlord,
4 beers and a glass of Madeira all in the same jug.
Do you happen to like ale or Madeira?
The landlord turns to you and he just goes, no. You've been warned.
Is there a toilet in the inn or?
The toilet is round the back near the stables.
Oh, but
outside.
He pointed that they've gone out like front, hasn't he?
Yes.
Landlord,
Yes.
Oh, so
the idea of them all going to the toilet at the same time would be somewhat interesting.
Very, very odd indeed. But my friends are quite odd.
They are communal. They are rather communal in these places anyway. But
just a wide window.
I'll pop out then to the front and I'll look for the pink guy, the jacket. I'll see if I can spot him.
It's like a bloody Belita beacon.
Yeah. Fluorescent jacket. My friend.
At this point, let's get back to it, folks. At this point, young lad makes his way across the bridge, going through Greek Street. I won't go into details about why it's called Greek Street, but it is. Nobody really knows why it's called Greek Street. I mean, there's no history.
Probably because it's its name.
Damn. As he goes across the bridge, for a brief moment, you lose sight of him, and then you notice the two blokes start trotting.
Oh.
As if they're speeding up to him.
Okay, well, I shall attempt to match the pace. Keep the same.
Okay, you go to try and keep out of the way. The rest of you that are out there can sort of see. What's your witch hunter's name?
Edmund.
Edmund. Okay, fine. Okay, I'm going to keep asking silly questions.
No, it's fine.
You notice Edmund suddenly speeding up and moving to the right of the street, and you can see that he's obviously following the two guys that are now running at a trot. You're about 20 paces behind him at the moment.
I shall walk faster. I'm not going to run. It's not that cosmopolitan.
You get round to the corner of the street, Edmund, and you see that the lads is starting to move into the area where there isn't any public lighting. The public lighting in these days consisted on large, like almost fires in braziers on sticks. It's not very good lighting these days, and indeed,
so it is evening then, obviously.
It is evening time. Yeah. At the time, there were, if some of the more opportunist homeless children would actually have their own lanterns and would be paid a farthing for escorting people through darkened streets, and they made quite a bit of money out of it. I can't remember what they were actually called, but that was a real thing. Yeah. But anyway, as he's moving into the shadows past this bridge here, come on, I've pressed the wrong button, bear with me. So as he's past this bridge here, the others start running at quite a pace. So as the bloke's going into the darkness, the two blokes are starting to, I suppose, what you might imagine, attack.
Oh. So that's the impression I get.
That's the impression you get, and you also guess they're about 20 to 30 paces from him.
Well, again, I'm not going. I'm just going to catch you. Keep at the pace, make. Okay. I just want to see what's going to. I don't feel like any inclination to intervene on either behalf. Just want to.
So if we
maybe when things have started.
What I might do is I might move to a more close-up map of this particular area. Mm-hmm. It's the same map, but I've just scanned it as a different. There you go. Okay, that's a bit better. So you're now on this bridge here. No, there you go. He's just gone around the corner here because as you go across the bridge, your eyes adjust to it. The two lads have come round like that. So you're about there. Are you going to move roughly in this direction down, or are you going to hover around here?
No, I'm going to follow.
Okay, so you're just going to go around.
I want to keep them in sight.
Okay, so you go turn round. You turn round, and you can basically can't see them at this point. It's complete shadows where you're looking, and all you can hear is the sound of. Now listen here, lad. You were told to keep our business to yourself. What the hell do you think you were doing? Next time we see you waggle that money about like that will be the last time you breathe. Do you get me? What do you mean? I don't understand what you mean. Did your father tell you? And then you hear, let me go, sir. Let me go, sir. I am not a fighting man. But you've been told next time will be your last. Do you understand? Yes. Right. And then you can hear them obviously kick him a couple of times for good measure. And then they sort of say, right, let's go.
Let's get up to
at this point, the rest of you, if you're following him, are you still in the pub?
No, I was looking for my friend with the pink jacket. Percival.
Okay, right. Sorry. I was just fixated by you spending the whole of the rest of the game.
No. I want to know where they've all gone because I was clueless.
Okay. Well, you can see the pink jacket right at the end of the street, and they probably trot.
I will run after my.
And so the rest of you are now at the bridge, and you can see that Edmund is now literally right on the corner of this building, and he's just looking around with his head round the corner.
Can I tell if they're approach coming back towards me or further away?
That's a really good point, because they are in fact coming back towards you.
Okay. In which case, I shall. Shall I? No, I don't think I'm going to hide. I think I will just sort of, casually lean against the side of the building and and see. Would I have some inkling, be able to estimate perhaps on how well I'd be, if it came down to it, how well I'd be able to handle myself against two gentlemen such as these?
These two, if you show this, if you basically rise up with your full, like, I'm carrying these weapons, they would walk around you. They wouldn't deal with you. They're not about to do that. You can tell by the way that they are thugs. They're ruffians.
Yeah. Oh, it was calling it. So yeah, I'll not make any attempt to hide, but so I'll just kind of, but make it obvious that I'm what I'm.
Okay. If you want to, you can roll for an influence check.
Oh yes, yes.
And bearing in mind you're a witch hunter and you've got a cross on here, which means that they're gonna probably, even the roughest of the ruffians believed in God, and this is a world where magic is real and priests can really heal people. So if they encounter someone who's a spellcaster of any sort, including a witch hunter, then they are gonna, and this is something in like games like Dungeons and Dragons that I don't think is made enough of.
Yeah.
That if you are a spellcaster, then my God, you stay out of the way. It's a scary thing.
I'm gonna puff my chest up, make my presence known, but I'm not gonna.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing at the moment?
Well, I have now caught up to Edmund. I will just look to him.
Oh my God!
Oh my word!
Point down the side alley, just to see if that's the direction where we need to be heading.
Well, as you're doing that, you see these two lads coming out from the shadows. You can see that they're real ruffians. They almost look like they're brothers. They're not exactly wearing uniforms, but it may as well be. And they look at you with utter surprise, both of you, and immediately realise that they're probably up against two people that kill them with one blow. So they sort of go, "Good evening, gentlemen." And they immediately go all quite subservient and doff their caps and slightly move away from both of you. Says,
"Good evening.
Hope you've had a pleasant evening."
A slightly more pleasant evening than the young man you cornered in this alleyway, I suspect.
Well, one of them turns around. "We left him alive. I think he should consider himself to be fortunate. And it's business between us and him. So I suggest, sir, with all due deference to you, that you do not put your oar in, sir."
I take a closer look at them, just lift the hanky to his nose and say, "I find it conducive that I brought my lavender hanky. Perhaps you can seek an urgent appointment elsewhere."
Well, oh, yeah, of course, sir, of course. Anyone else want to do anything or join in, or?
I'll just.
Well, you're there now.
So as I've just jogged up.
With the sheer volume of them, there's 5 of you now, and they basically start really backing away and says, "We've got opportunities elsewhere, sir. I hope you have a pleasant evening. Ta-ta!" And they sort of start hoofing off. Or you're left in the dark, and all you can hear is the groans of an individual in the shadows, sort of just down the alley.
What's going on? I've just bought a round for everybody. I turn round and you've all gone.
Where's our drinks?
Did you buy Madeira?
I did.
On a tray, you brought them on a tray.
I give it
I would
to
love
this
it
lovely.
if you didn't, I was going to send it back.
I give it to this lovely lady back in the inn.
I take it you brought the glasses with you.
No, everything's back there. I couldn't run with
great,
all the
how you
ales. What's that noise? Who's been beat up?
The young lad, from the inn. He's further down the alleyway. These two gentlemen here apprehended him.
Well, I'm going to go down and see what's up down there. It's probably best that he's approached by someone with a decent turn of calf in some good stockings.
I'm going to move to another. I'm going to move, hopefully, because I've already fogged this one out, so I hope it looks fogged. Does that look fogged to you guys?
It does. Yeah.
It does.
Fabulous. Excellent. So I was a bit worried about that. Okay, so you guys are currently, that is the corner. Come on. That's the corner where you were.
Uh-huh.
That's roughly where the lad is, around here. Around here, you can see there's a double door. Then I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah,
there's a single door and then another single door here.
Uh-huh.
This place itself is a warehouse, and I want you all to choose local knowledge or history or education or one of those checks, whichever one is more favourable for you.
Oh, gosh.
I'm going to go for local knowledge, because if I actually get that, that'll have made my evening.
History.
I'll
my
go for history because I have a grand total of 20%.
Yeah, same.
What was it?
Knowledge.
Local knowledge, history, or
It's up to you, or education.
No cigar.
I've got history. I've got 40-odd% in that.
Oh, I'm doing well. 75. Getting better.
Nice.
3 on a 43.
Oh, goodness.
Wow. Okay. You notice. Okay, in a usual game like Call of Cthulhu, you'll put a dot next to that particular score, and then obviously at the end of the session. But I'm going to forego that because this is only a 2-session. It might be more. But what I want you to do is roll a percentage again if you're successful in any of those things. And if you're over the current one, then you've learned new stuff.
Uh-huh.
So we'll have that as a running thing throughout the game. So if you roll higher than your current score in the one that you're successful in.
69, so I rolled high on the
Okay, roll a 10-sider.
2.
Okay, you add 2. The other thing that I'm going to introduce is a system that I've put into the book, which is about critical rolls. So if you fail, there's a chance of it being really disastrous, and if you succeed, there's a chance of it being perfect. So if I want Edmund, if you could roll a 20-sided dice as well.
20. Where's my other dice gone? Oh, there it is. 20.
I like this.
20. That would be a 18.
I will allow it.
Ooh.
You have got this ridiculous, because you were successful in 18. Okay, the lower part of the building is stone. The upper part of the building is completely wooden. The lower part of the building dates from the 14th century and is possibly part of what used to be here, which was an abbey.
Right.
So you don't know if that's significant. You just notice because of the brickwork, because of the way that the corner of the building has been put together with the architecture, that this is consistent with other religious buildings that you've seen in the area, including the main cathedral.
Okay. So
it's something. Go on.
Sorry. So as this comes to mind, I'll not directly communicate this, but maybe mumble, just mutter to myself.
Okay.
But so other people can, yeah.
So as this building here that goes to about here is the main building, and then from this bit onwards, so if you look at the map, from that bit onwards is possibly a side alley because the wall here is about 12 feet high with a door in it, whereas the rest of it is the actual building.
Right.
Okay. You notice that all those there's a wall there. You can the bridge is just off the map over there, and you've already seen this is a jetty. That obviously in a way in to getting goods into the warehouse from the river itself. As I said, the lad is standing here or lying here.
Yeah. Having made my elegant way down to him, I shall look down at the lad and say, "Young sir, you appear to have been ill-abused. Is there any aid my friends can give you?"
He looks at he ignores you, and he sort of looks over at the others, and particularly looks over at the soldier. "Sir, you are keeping the company of a stranger. I didn't understand a word he said."
It's a problem I share. He speaks another language. He's not foreign though.
He looks over at the clubman. Who's the clubman? Good. Okay, he looks over at you and goes, "Sir, what did he say?"
You need a hand.
Oh yes, please. Thank you. This is awful. I don't know if the night could get any worse than this.
I'm sure.
You have been my saviours, and thank you so much, sir.
Is he in the alleyway? Did you say?
He's still in the alleyway. Yes.
So can I go near him and then?
You're all sort of round him at the moment. I'm assuming.
Have a urination against the wall?
Can you what?
Can I urinate against the wall nearby him?
I think
no one's going to stop or lend you a hand.
It's known as the public convenience round here.
I shall look over at Edmund and just say the only way this evening can get worse for the lad is if he visits his tailor again.
Well, I did say it could get worse. So yeah, I'm not helping him like first aid. I'm dying for a wee, so I'll just have a wee.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, sirs. I bid you good evening. Unfortunately, I have no recompense that I can offer you for your kindness.
Oh, I think you have, young man. I think you can reward us with a little insight into what this incident was all about. It's piqued our interest, and we've taken the trouble to wander down the streets and ensure you aren't any worse for wear than you already are.
He looks down a little bit and then looks at you. I remember you from the tavern. You were in the tavern, weren't you?
We were indeed.
Oh, you may as well have it then. He takes something out of his purse and just chucks it on the ground. I don't want to have anything more to do with it. This has been a curse.
He's not throwing it in my direction, has he?
It's literally on the floor, in amongst the cobble streets, in amongst the mud in a small puddle. Not that puddle. Not that puddle. Oh, no. And you can all plainly see that it is some form of Spanish coin, perhaps a doubloon.
Oh, Spanish gold. Can I sort of use my influence against him? Try and sort of.
Go on. Yeah,
try.
Any of you may do this.
Explain yourself. This 67 on an 80.
Well, while everybody's talking, I'm just going to mosey on over and pick the coin up to have a look at it.
Okay, that's a really good thing. What you notice about it, it is actually a freshly minted coin.
Am I getting a hint of gold?
It is. I think doubloons were silver. I have a feeling they were silver. Well, Andy, would you know?
I believe they were. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. So it's quite a large silver coin.
It was the Royals that were gold, wasn't it?
That's it. Yeah. I'll just see if I actually managed to. Yes, I did. Hold on a moment. I'll just put it on the screen.
Would we
know you're looking at?
What it would like the value of it compared to like British money?
This is the
silver. Was shillings silver?
This is the equivalent of possibly about 5 shillings.
Oh right.
So it is quite.
And he was trying to pay for a beer with it.
It might give you an indication as the intelligence of the lad.
Yeah, I wish I didn't know
that.
what. Yeah.
Not,
I'll take you back to the other man.
He did say finest ale.
Yes. Good God, the finest ale. Okay,
buy a few bottles of Madeira with that.
But if it's like freshly minted, it means it's probably been made recently or somewhere.
You used your influence. You used your influence role on him. He sort of looks at. Well, I was told by Father not to. We weren't supposed. I've made a dreadful error, gentlemen, and I beg you not to inquire further into my dreadful error. My family's future is at stake, sir.
Well,
we are inquiring a little deeper into this.
I'll give him a copper, and I'll be like, you know what? I'll save you some hassle, and I'll remove this from you here. That should about cover it.
I was doing nothing more than tidying up after the last cart had left the barn, and I found the coin in the warehouse, and I thought it was nothing more than the king's own shilling. And I felt, what?
Does he take the copper off me?
No, yes, he'll take the copper off you, definitely.
That disappears into my...
Yeah, no problem. And I genuinely thought it was the king's own shilling, and I thought to myself, what a lucky young man I am that I have struggled for so many days with such hardships and have found this shilling. And so I thought, after so much work that I'd done in the day, that I deserved a nice pint of beer.
Are you absolutely certain you didn't bring that glass of Madeira?
I presume that woman has drunk it now.
Yeah.
Is there the equivalent of like a psychology or something? You know, to if how convinced we are that he's being honest, or something to that effect.
Yeah, well, roll a perception check. Just treat it like a perception check.
Okay.
Is he still on the ground?
Oh, I failed. 88.
No, he's been helped up.
He's been helped up.
Yeah, the clubman helped him up.
I was going to have to help him up.
He appears to be not clever enough to be deceitful.
Yeah.
He's either putting on an amazing act and he's absolutely a genius, or that he hasn't got it in him to try and be clever or deceitful.
So, my friend, where do you think this coin came from? If it was in your warehouse,
it must have come off one of the carts.
Off a cart.
A cart. So, what was in the cart?
I wasn't supposed to look.
But you did. What was in the cart, my friend? And
you won't tell my father, will you?
No, of course not. We would never.
I wasn't supposed.
It may be wise to take this conversation inside.
Inside, all right. He gets
my private.
He gets a key out, and immediately, I can basically reveal. I'm going to do a reveal now, guys. This is so exciting.
Oh, good gracious.
Wait, you're not supposed to see it.
I'm going to be very careful. So that's the first bit of reveal.
Cool.
And I'll let you see that as well. So I'm just going to be quite careful about this. Mm-hmm. And I'll let you see that as well. So there you go. So can you see all that?
Yes.
Yeah.
You walk into the interior of the warehouse, and it is almost as you expected it. It is depressingly bereft of goods. Nothing but empty crates, old sacks of grain, uneven cobbles are filthy with old straw. Ancient stone walls rise up to about 10 feet, beyond which the building is entirely of wood. Looking up, chains and ropes extend through a space in the upper floor. So if I get the pointer again, this section between all the pillars, all these middle bits of pillars, is open to the very top. So you can look up and you can see the upper roof, and there's chains hanging down. You do notice one thing straight away. As he sort of instantly walked here, you've got a fireplace here that hasn't really been lit, and the logs inside it are burnt out and unreplaced. As you walk to about this area here, you notice that this particular pillar is different from the others. I'm going to pan it in a little bit. This pillar, all these pillars are made of wood. They're quite sturdy and they're made of wood. This pillar is made of stone. And it's just a weird thing that it's obvious. Whether you make anything out of it, you don't know. But William turns, his name's William. Sorry, I didn't ask. And damn, giving it all away. End of the game. And he looks at you and says, this is where the carts were stored. And he points to this area here.
So, did the carts... That's a jetty outside, so did the contents that ended up in the carts come by river?
Yeah, for the last 3 nights, consignments of goods, it's almost like he's reciting something. Consignments of goods came from the river by boat, and these mysterious gentlemen came in and loaded up the carts and then covered the carts up, and I was to stay out of the way and not look.
Well, you did very well, William. Very, very well.
Thank you.
Where were the carts going after? Where did they go?
They went out, and if I go down a little bit, give me a sec. They went out through the main doors, and I believe they headed south, but I don't know from there because I stayed in the warehouse. But they were only here for about a day at a time, and it happened over 3 nights. So after the 3rd night, the last cart has left, which was about 2 bells ago.
So the gentleman that you had a disagreement with earlier, do the wagons belong to them?
I don't know who they were, sir. I have no knowledge of them. It was a real sad surprise. All of you make a perception check, please.
Failed it by 3.
Oh,
Okay.
not even looking at the next one.
Made it by a long way.
Okay.
Not even close.
Okay.
94.
Percival, you notice that there are fresh tracks in the dirt leading out of these double doors, and you can see they're from an obvious wagon. Nice thick wheels. It's not thick enough to be carrying stone as such.
How long ago did he say?
Percival can pretty much guess that it's probably less than about half an hour ago, although the lad think it was two bells.
We've got horses, have we not?
You do have horses back at the Wherryman's Inn.
So we could go back, have a Madeira, and then follow these tracks, maybe. Get the horses, that's what I mean.
So,
Madeira.
William, you
Not
said...
that I wish to correct you, dear sir, but if you're having a riding drink, it is a stirrup cup.
Whatever. I'll be
Percival
drinking
will
ale.
take a very slow walk around the circular pillar, have a good look at it.
Okay. What's anyone else doing? You were going to ask a question.
Yes, so William said that, intimated that he had actually looked what was in the wagon, didn't he? But he never actually said.
So there were some really odd long boxes, and they had a picture on them.
Of what?
It was of 3 dogs jumping over a castle.
Does that mean anything?
Okay, we'll all do
or something.
We will. Well, yeah. So again, you can use education or local knowledge.
Ooh, not history.
I'm thinking
Nope.
muskets. Long box.
Education. Oh, that's not much better. Education, that's 42.
Not called
27 on a
Use education because given that there's a Spanish coin involved, this may be a matter of of supply from the continent.
Because actually on this particular occasion, because you have Percival with you, he will know.
Oh.
But you also know as well. So if you do want to if any time you are successful in any of these, I don't want to go through it again, but
I know.
Okay, so if you know, then if you want to roll percentage again, if you go over your current score, then you roll a 10 side and you add it to your score. I just assume you do that. Rather than,
oh my! How is that possible? I've rolled 3% again.
you're a genius.
So I failed.
No, mine didn't go up. I got a success, but not an improvement.
Okay.
No, I've not improved either.
No.
Okay.
I'm perfect. I can't improve.
Okay, so 2 things. One, because of the description, there's 2 things that have come out of just this moment. One is you looking around the pillar. So I'm going to take you to what you see on the pillar. And that is going to be this. On the eastern side of the pillar, there is quite large, it's about 8 inches across, about 8 feet up. There is this symbol.
It's 22 hours.
Pardon?
Oh, that's the computer telling me the time. Lad, what of this symbol here?
It's always been there, sir.
I rather thought it had. It's carved in stone.
So does this pillar look like it was part of the abbey then?
Yes, absolutely, yes.
Yeah. Does it Do I recognise it? Does it have any magical significance, perhaps?
Okay, these are good questions. So we'll focus on this, and then we'll focus on the
The cart.
what he knows about the heraldry. I'll quickly do the heraldry thing, and then we'll go back to this.
Okay.
Okay. First, the heraldry, because. Hold on, what the bloody hell are you doing now? Come on, that's it. Right. First of all, we'll know this. This is the symbol of Spanish weaponry from Bilbao. And you know straight away that this is extremely expensive, extremely high-class weaponry. And the fact that it's and it is more likely that these have been muskets. And there are 3 consignments of them filling 3 carts.
How many boxes of these consignments were there?
He doesn't know. He literally lifted up the cloth, looked in, saw the crest, described it to you. He didn't bother to count how many. It took them about the last time he saw them, he actually saw them off putting them in there. It took them about 20 minutes to get them all in.
But the coin, you said a coin fell from these carts.
A coin fell from the carts, and that coin is the one that he showed you.
But the Spanish guns.
Which is a Spanish coin, and these are Spanish guns. So this, the inference of this, we all know that Spain is sort of the enemy, sort of a Catholic country. And the fact that you've got the political goings on in the country at the moment and Spanish armaments coming into the country is something that if it became whoever's doing this is potentially big stuff and might actually have repercussions in court. So what you're looking at here seems to be a small matter, but is not.
Lad, where is your man?
My man, sir?
Your servant.
We do not have servants. So once upon a time when I was young, we had servants, but in our current state as a family, we are not possessed of servants. In the meantime, witch huntery fellow.
Yes.
Okay, you're going to be doing. Any of you can do Greek, Latin, or arcane law.
I'm sure.
So look for law. Greek, Latin, arcane. Greek and Latin is the same thing. I've treated them as the same thing.
I've got Greek or Latin language.
A grand total of 5%.
The poor clubman is just sort of standing in the back row and going, I know nothing.
I know plan.
91%.
So Greek, Latin language.
Well, you've obviously basically it implies anybody that's gone to university.
Yeah.
And university. Go on.
Oh, sorry, I've got Greek Latin language, but not law.
Okay, well, there's law. No, it's law arcane, I was going to say.
All right. Okay. Right.
Percival, where's your man?
Oh, he's back in my home. He and the maid are making sure that everything is ready for when I return.
So, were you successful?
I thought I failed, but no, I got 18. I thought it was an 80, but it's an 18.
Okay, well, this is a very strange thing. The first thing is obviously alpha. Next to it is Aries. And beneath it is a symbol for fire.
Well, I can tell you from my 11 weeks in Oxford before I was kicked out, that Aries and fire are not in the Greek alphabet.
No. It doesn't. I don't make it. I'm not able to make anything more.
It's a weird combination. It really doesn't have any associations with anything really.
Maybe need to speak to somebody else.
Well, if there's no one else to do it, I think realistically, I need to follow those carts because there's treason afoot, and we can't have that. So, lad, if you run ahead and have our horses saddled, if you'd be so kind, and be quick about it.
It just puzzles me how where the coin came from. So is there weapons in these crates, or is there coins in these crates? Because these coins... Did you tell us that this coin looked freshly minted?
Well, yes, it is. And one of you asked where his father was? Okay. My father's upstairs. I believe he is still looking after the books and seeing if he can pay off his debts.
I mean,
Well, I suppose we better speak to him while you get the horses saddled.
Oh, we can't do. We promised him we wouldn't speak to his father.
Damn it.
We can't break a promise, Percival.
I don't recall making the promise.
Very true. You should go and talk to him.
So you're going to make your way upstairs?
Indeed.
Okay. Obviously, you can guess where the stairs is, just there. And you make your way upstairs. I'm going to take you upstairs now. As you're making your way upstairs, you are all aware of the sound of somebody approaching the double doors on the ground floor. So you've just turned the corner to go upstairs, and you can hear the double doors rattling quite forcefully. And all of you can hear a sound of, come on, let's try this door instead.
Is it our friends?
No, absolutely not.
We have no friend.
From earlier, the two thugs.
No.
Well, it's hard to ID them through solid objects.
You can't ID them in terms, they just sound like they are blokes. Nothing else, you don't know.
Is that other door?
This door, I'm going to do a pointy thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is the door that you came through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
These doors are, as far as you're aware, locked.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know anything about that door.
William, are you
They
expecting
have just
anybody?
tried these doors. No, sir. Not at all.
I'm gonna make my way over there and just unsheath my dagger and just have it behind.
Okay, so you're going to make your way around to here.
Yep, and just be not in front of the door so it can hit me, but just kind
So
of.
you know the door opens with the hinges about here on the left, so it'll open towards you. So are you going to be sort of behind the door when it opens, or...?
No, just sort of inside.
What are the rest of you doing?
If they open the door, it's just more like a, can I help you, gentlemen?
Okay.
I'll suggest William goes to the door to see who it is, and I'll stand behind him.
Okay.
No, I'm not gonna have them open.
You haven't got
They
much
open the
time
door.
because literally they've just tried the
walk-
double doors
yep.
and move over.
To ask who they are. Get him to ask who they are.
John, you get over to the door. You've just said to William, go and check the door. As he's moving towards the door opens and you see a town guard staring at William. And William instinctively backs away. What are you here for, sir? We have done nothing wrong. He steps around and he immediately looks at everybody in the room. What is this? I don't understand.
It's a town
And then
guard.
And then the guard steps into the room. You can see there's 3 others behind him. We've got reason to believe that there's been something going on around here.
It's only a pea.
I'll step forward. Everything's fine. The situation's been resolved. I've seen. I myself and my compatriots have seen to the matter. There's nothing to concern you.
We have reason to believe that there is a body to be found here, sir.
There's no body. There's no body. This young man fell foul of some thugs. That is all.
He looks at one of his friends, then back at you. Then you wouldn't mind if I did a search of the property.
Percival is going to switch on the nobility bit and almost sashay forwards with a dab of a lavender hanky under his nose. And he'll just stop short and say, the only body here is exemplary, and how is Lord Crawford these days?
Well, he looks at you. It would be rather remiss of you for me to report that you're standing between me and my duty, wouldn't it?
It would be rather
He
remiss
stares
of
straight at you. One of the things that you notice about this is that all of you would expect the guard to back away, but he's not. And you can see that his hand is wandering towards his sword. You can see one of the ones at the back is actually wandering towards a pistol. Now, step aside, gentlemen. We have business to conduct here, and with all due deference to your positions, sirs, you are not going to stand in the way of the law of the city.
Can we inquire who said there was a problem, that there was a body here?
That's none of your business, is it, sir? Now, are you going to stand in our way?
I think perhaps it is, if you're intending to enter this property.
At this, he makes to draw his sword, and he's going to be pointing it straight at William. You can see this is about to happen. What are you going to do?
Ooh.
I step straight in with a dagger and put it to his throat.
Okay. Roll percentage.
Oh, that escalated quickly.
Can I grab William and just like pull him back?
Absolutely. Okay, this is the situation. Because you've gone for the advantage, they didn't expect you to do it. John, you're going to go first anyway, and you said what you were going to do next, so you will go next. So if you want to roll your check first, there will be modifiers because it's pretty much an unexpected attack, even though he's looking at you. So you will have modifiers on your chance to hit.
Oh, that's not good. That's 73. What am I rolling, Dex?
Sorry?
What am I rolling?
You roll. You should have a roll, which is. Let's have a look. You're an outlaw, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so it's going to be your. It should be. It's if you have a look at the bottom of your weapons table.
Dagger.
For dagger.
Oh right. Okay.
And you'll have a percentage dice there.
Oh right. Oh, okay, right. So I passed. So I'm not stabbing him. I'm putting it to his throat.
You're putting it to his throat.
Before he draws his sword.
Okay.
So that's why I've sort of positioned myself.
I'm going to have a quick look because you took the advantage in the situation. I'm just trying to catch. You've certainly got advantage in terms of reaction check now, which means that you're going to certainly get there first.
Yeah.
And are you sort of just going to grab hold of his shoulder and put the dagger to him like that?
Yeah. So basically, just step into him. Dagger to throw, and I'll just say, I think we're getting a little excited. You might want to calm down before things get worse for you.
He looks down at the dagger and looks at you. Says, "You have no idea who you are dealing with, sir. This
you, sir, will be dead if you don't calm down. Now drop that sword back into your sheath."
He slowly puts it back into the sheath. Says, "Very well. You have our advantage, but this will not be the end of this matter. Do you understand? All of you are now complicit, and if there is a dead body to be found on this premises, then it will be assumed that it is your responsibility, and I will make sure that you will be accused of such a crime."
Sorry, you're under the impression that you're going somewhere? You have some questions to answer.
The others are sort of like wondering what to do. The other guards are basically thinking, you can tell they're thinking, this isn't how the narrative was supposed to play out.
Have they all entered the building?
They sort of, the last
no, because he hasn't got it.
Yeah.
They're busy.
There's one that's one that's entered the building, and with all the cockiness and confidence of we're city guards. And they didn't expect you to see you there. It's obvious. And the leader has obviously tried to say, "I'm a city guard, get out of my way." This has failed. And the others, you can see them sort of looking at each other and going, "This isn't how it was supposed to go," look on their faces. So he's sort of, you're basically holding on to him. You've got the dagger at his throat. You could easily kill him now, quick across the throat. You know how to do it. You're an outlaw. You know how to do this.
So how about answering my question? Why are you here? Why do you think there's a body here, sir? Who sent you? That's all we want to know.
We were informed. He looks at the others. This is an interesting point, the rest of you. If the rest of you can sort of do a perception check in the sense of almost like what you were asking earlier on, Edmund, about like an insight into what you think they're thinking. Yeah?
Okay. 58.
Okay.
58 on 70.
So you've done quite well. Okay.
35.
Perfect.
Ooh.
Okay, what about, Clubman, I know you're quite confused.
Oh, I failed.
Okay, I just don't want you to feel as if you're sitting in the corner not playing.
No, it's all fine.
You're okay.
I haven't passed a check since we started.
Oh, bless you.
I've passed one.
It is-
I'm
it is a
I'm
good-
not far removed.
It is a good game, honest.
It's just an unfortunate set of skills.
Well, that's what clubmen are like. But okay, there are. Remember, I do give modifiers on the odd occasion. If you're trying something, you say actually. So just bear that in mind if you're sort of trying things. Okay. Okay, I want you. Those that made their perception check, I want you also to do a spot hidden. This is on the other side.
Yeah,
So is he looking back at the men that is coming to the...
Yes, and that itself psychologically is quite an interesting move from somebody who's supposed to be leading.
That is a fail on the spot hidden.
Okay.
No, I didn't make.
Okay.
Should I be making these perception checks?
You make yes, absolutely. You're as close. You're the closest person to them.
Right. Okay.
William is now. You notice William is now almost in tears. He's sort of like, this is completely out of control. This is so weird, and he's just a simple warehouse boy. He's not really.
Well, he will wear bright tunics and carry gold coins, golden sheen coins. You know,
that was his one moment of being.
Well, he's getting against moment.
Okay,
now,
so have you got perception and spot hidden?
Yeah, spot hidden. That's sorry, I'm looking for my.
That's on the other side. That's in your skills thing, possibly under intelligence.
It's in other skills.
Other skills.
Bottom and middle column.
Bottom. Oh, right. Okay. Oh, definitely got that. Yes.
Cool. Okay, so you got it. Okay. This is an interesting one. They're not wearing the right uniform.
Ah.
Let's step around to the two guys at the back and just tap one of them on the shoulder. You two kindly take one step forwards.
They sort of, at this point, the two ones at the rear sort of saying, "Fob this for a game of soldiers," and immediately scarper down the road. They're not yet quite in the building yet, and immediately they've gone. There's now two left, and the one behind is sort of like wondering whether, because you've just stepped round, haven't you? And so you're close enough to. And he's sort of like looking at you, and he looks back to the open door, and he's sort of going, he realizes there's no pointing in moving because it's likely that you'll run him through. So you've now got two of them, one of them with a knife against his throat, the other one just standing there, looking like a rabbit in the headlights, going like this.
Answer the question, or there will be a dead body in this warehouse.
We step inside and answer these questions like gentlemen.
I'm not a gentleman. my friend here is a gentleman, first of all. I'm not a gentleman.
Take a walk around the front of these two. This is one of those moments where you have to step outside of your normal realm into the world of truth.
We were told that there was good money in discovering a body at the warehouse. That if we were to discover the body and claim it as a suicide, then it would be in our good interests and we'd all be paid handsomely. We have no knowledge of who asked us. It was through an agency, a stationer.
While this conversation, when they start saying this, can I like head upstairs?
Yeah.
There's nobody down here, so if there's
certainly nobody upstairs.
I'm getting the impression they were to make a body.
Well,
you make your way upstairs. Is what the rest of you doing?
Well,
I'm gonna just watch William. I don't want him going upstairs in case his father is dead upstairs.
Okay. Okay.
I shall follow upstairs.
Okay.
At least we won't have to tell his father.
I will assume, for the sake of the game, that you will either drag the other soldiers up with you or the other guys up with you. They're obviously now very, very pliant. They're not going to do anything silly. They've been pulled out. They know their lives are at stake. They're
disarm them.
Yeah. So disarm them if you want to tie them up. Will allow that to happen.
I don't suppose one of the people that we got is one that had a pistol.
No, that was one of the ones that did the scarpering. Sorry about that. Good question.
I'll just ask conversationally while I'm tying up the leader. So where'd you get the uniform? I don't believe a city guard just leave these laying around.
It is. We were given the uniform alongside the job. It's not going clear. I'm not confused about that. Give me a second. I'll just undo something.
I'll let you do the talking, Percival. You're a man of etiquette and words far more than I am. So if this gentleman upstairs happens to still be breathing, I'll leave the explanations to you.
I believe you, Edmund, are better tutored in the law, however. These two have turned up and, given other circumstances, appear to have been paid to commit treason. What is the punishment for treason these days?
Well, I believe it's at the end of probably at the end of the rope, I imagine.
I sort of recall it involves having your entrails torn out.
Oh, that.
No. We'll tell you everything.
Oh, I'm absolutely certain of it.
You make your way upstairs. William, you're making sure is staying downstairs. So I'm trying to remove the fog in this picture, but it's not happening. So I'll remove them all in due course. So you can see in the southeast corner of the map that there's obviously an office, and there's doors leading into it. So you look around, and it's obviously, you can see it's bereft of any goods apart from really old sacks and stuff like that in the area. One thing that you do notice is on the stone pillar there is another symbol.
Oh.
Ah.
Okay.
That is unusual.
So it's on the same pillar, it's on a story up, and I'm going to show you what this one is. Now you've decoded the first one, then it's pretty straightforward to decode the others. So this is the next one that you see. This is, let me get to it. This is gamma in Greek, which is the third letter in the alphabet. This is Gemini, and it is the symbol of air. And it's on the same pillar. And that's as a sort of incidental. It's so obvious. So you've got these two pillars. On the lower part of the pillar, you've got the alpha. Then you've got the third letter of the alphabet on the next one up. There's a sort of a logic that's going on. You're not sure what it is.
Well, the logic is they don't know which symbols are in the Greek alphabet.
Okay. So I take it you're going to go into the office.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay. I'm going to now reveal for you two things. I'll tell you what, this is what you see as soon as you come in.
Oh,
dear.
That was the scuffling noise then.
Hey, Percival will remove his rapier, because I don't know how long he's been up there, and sweep it across to cut the rope.
Okay, so you go, okay, what I'll do now is I'll show you the actual view of the actual room itself. If I can find it. What did I do? I'm sure I put it in. Gov. Where's it gone? Oh, might not. Doesn't matter, I can do it through here. Okay. I'm sure I put it in. Right, I'm going to clear away all the... No, okay. Oh, I can see what I did now. Bear with me, guys.
There
you go.
Yay!
Yay! The reason why I got confused is the actual staircase was in shadow anyway in the drawing, and I thought it was fogged out. You can see roughly that there's a table. I'll just pan in. I did actually have a detailed map of it, but I didn't upload it, so I'm going to go with this. Ignore the actual images on the furniture. It doesn't necessarily reflect that. You've got him there. He's at his desk. You've got obviously a cupboard with lots of scrolls and stuff. You've got a fireplace over here. If we go back to the other image, I'll put that up as well. So you've got another image of it. God, I'm frustrated by that because this matters. Okay, never mind.
It's all right. You can actually zoom in using the little 25 yards doobry.
Yeah, I know. Okay. So, that's what you're looking at. You've just gone straight in and you've cut the bloke down. Have you just let him drop, or?
I'll try to catch him in my left arm.
Okay.
Just to cushion the fall a little bit, and check to see if he's alive or dead.
Okay. He's certainly dead.
So these guys said if they would find a body and make it, ensure it looked like a suicide. So there's nobody else in here.
They said the exact words were, yes, sort of find the body and report it as a suicide.
So there's nobody else in there. There was nobody else out. There was nobody else. Is the window open?
The window's too small for anybody to get in.
Oh. There's nowhere. Is there anywhere anybody could hide in here?
No, absolutely not. If I pan in a little bit, it's not a bad representation. I'll fill in with other details. There's that there. There's a chair on its side about here. You've got the fireplace. You've got a barrel here. You've got this, which is a cupboard. You've got certainly loads of papers on here. You've got a shelf along the back here with a chest underneath it. You've also got a broom leaning up against here. This is the window.
How far up were the feet of the hanging man?
I know what you're asking.
Higher than the height of the stool.
If you tilt the stool back up, you realise that he's slightly higher than that.
Can I have a search round? See if there's any sign that
There'll
there's
be
anybody else in here.
Side note, almost certainly.
Okay, on the table, you're looking for notes, yeah? There are 2 notes on the table. This is one of them. And it says, "My son, I have been fooled for the last time. We are paid in the coin of the enemy. Thus we cannot pay our debts without ignoble infamy to our family name. I commend my soul to the great God who sees all things and trust his mercy in my final sinful act. Pray for my troubled soul, my boy. I am gone to be with your mother. Sell the warehouse to Christopher Hemsby, then depart this town. Your father, H."
Who is Christopher Hemsby?
Christopher Hemsby is a merchant of some renown who has contacts with the court.
Where's the lad with the son?
He's downstairs.
Do you think he'd probably recognise if this is his father's handwriting? Surely.
There is a further note, if you want to see that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
It seems to be on top of this note as well. The 7th day of May, 1639, my goodman Forshaw. It is certain I have shown you the greatest sympathy at the distress of your family over these past months, and am gladdened to hear you have sufficiently recovered to recommence trade. It is to this end that I am writing, urging you to reconsider my offer of purchasing your concerns and warehouse, and thus alleviating you and your suffering family your debts and loans, which I understand to be significant. I believe I mentioned to you the figure of £120, which I continue to offer, allowing you to seek retirement in an assurance that I shall employ your son. You shall not starve and will be provided enough to pay your rents. Christopher Hemsby, Brancaster.
Very convenient.
Indeed. Could you go back to the first letter?
Some of you may not be able to read, but the others can read it for you.
Does it not seem somewhat strange that a letter written in full is signed H?
Yeah. And with a different stroke.
Indeed. It may be that the father put the H there, but it was certainly not written in the same hand.
No, and under duress, perhaps.
And the wine stain.
Roll a perception check.
Yes, that's a 21 on a 70.
37.
There is red wine in the room. It's in the cupboard further up in the room, but there isn't any open bottles. And you certainly can't see any empty bottles.
Are there any glasses on the table?
No.
Assigned elsewhere.
Yeah.
Or written elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either that or he chose to tidy up before he hanged himself, which is ridiculous.
Not necessarily ridiculous. People have been known to do such things.
Yeah, put the glasses
But in this
away.
case, this appears to be quite a odd way of doing things, as you can tell.
But the guards,
someone-
or the pretend guards implied that this is not suicide as well.
We have Spanish coin, we have Spanish musket, and has anyone noticed that his mercy in my final sinful act? Suicide is a Catholic sin, not Protestant. That's written by a Catholic.
Seems very convenient that on his death he just wants to say he's going to sell to this particular person.
Yeah.
Does indeed.
Is this perhaps going to be a way station for a foreign invasion?
Sounds as if they're already using it this way.
Definitely seem to be building up a local force of head muskets or whatever in those crates.
I'll just take you back to the
The Christopher Hemsby is definitely like a next step to interrogate.
If you just give me a moment, I'll see if I can upload the proper image of the room. I know it's a bit out of the game.
Should we take a couple of minutes then while you want
Just take a couple of minutes while I do this, because I think it's important you actually see this room.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, we can have a 10-minute break, so there's no rush.
Okay, that's fine. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right,
Okey
see you
dokey.
running a few.
The dead body is around there. You've just laid him out on the floor.
But out of interest, is that blood splatter on the ground?
Yes, it is a blood splatter on the ground.
So he
Not red
hanged
wine.
and at the same time got blood splatter.
And looking at the blood splatter, it's obvious that it is relatively fresh blood.
Is there any wounds on this man?
Okay, if you have got to do either a spot head hidden or a healing check.
Ooh, I can do 20%.
Come on, I want you to win. I want you to do something, Clubman. Come
I know,
on,
I'm
you can-
trying. I'm desperately
you're-
trying.
You're better
I
than me at
failed.
that.
He's dead.
Spot
If he wasn't dead before, he's dead now.
spot hidden. Got spot hidden.
Yes.
No, failed spot hidden.
Okay.
Not even
And-
close.
Okay.
Can
So
I use agriculture as my best?
Well, if there's that much blood on the floor, is there any blood on the dead man's clothing?
it was just sort of like the nature of the wound. You do realise that once you're looking around, all of you realise that there's a wound in the neck.
Ah.
And this is perhaps stringing the storyline together. Perhaps I'm over-speaking as the game master, but it's likely that was all going to get hidden by the guards that discovered the body.
Mm.
So very
Because
clumsy suicide.
It's a very suicide.
No, I'm not there, so it doesn't matter. Can I
Okay.
just while they're in that room? Can I presume that William's dad has been killed. So can I take William out of the warehouse and can we go and get the horses?
Yes. Yes.
So that's what my pack's doing.
That's
and
brilliant.
And John's okay watching the two prisoners.
Yeah, that's fine.
Try not to kill them, John.
That's fine. It'll take you about 10 minutes to do the round trip with the horses.
Right, so I'll take William.
Percival will just look around at his colleagues and say, I do apologize, gentlemen, but I have become peeved. Let's go downstairs.
Okay. Anyone want to do anything else in this room?
I was wondering, because there's a cabinet with the open doors, kind of makes it look like they were looking for something.
Okay, good
And the
question.
chest that pulled out from underneath there as well.
Okay, a couple of issues. You go to the cabinet and you notice that it's filled with, you're a clubman, you can't read. This is an odd one. Make an intelligence check. So roll either a percentage or a 20-sider. What's your intelligence?
8.
Okay. Don't laugh. That's almost average.
Almost.
Okay, roll an 8 on a d20.
You did roll an 8. Okay, that is like a power score, really. This is Spanish wine. And one thing that you notice when you look in the cupboard is that the dust in the cupboard doesn't match the shape of the bottles.
There's something else here, and it's being swapped.
The other thing you notice, because you've been looking at the marks on the stone pillars, is that you look round to your left to the fireplace and you see on either upright at the top of each column of the fireplace this shape. This is beta.
Gentlemen.
And another astrological symbol, I presume.
It is Pisces.
Mm.
There doesn't appear to be any elemental sign.
No.
But you do have beta and you do have Pisces.
Might be some kind of cipher.
It
Oh, we
looks
shall see.
fishy to me.
But anyway, I'll point out to the guys when they come over, being like, see here where the Rioja is on the shelf, like the dust is different. Doesn't quite match the bottles of wine. Like someone had something else here and moved it and then covered it up with the
He's
wine.
in cahoots with the Spanish gov.
There's also another one of those stupid symbol black things.
Bloody stupid symbols.
Somebody trying to frame the family, make it look like they were there.
Yeah, I'm smart ass writing
Spanish
in 3
wine.
languages I can't read.
The coin that was strangely dropped on the floor it fell onto the floor in the warehouse.
While they're upstairs, I'm going to have a chat with their friends. But while I'm doing that, I'm having a little rummage in their pockets to see if they've any coin. Obviously, they've taken their weapons off them, but I'm just seeing if there's anything.
Total coinage, you will find 1 shilling and 8 pennies.
Better than a poke in the eye.
Well, they look at you and go,
but nothing.
All right.
Do you do this type of work a lot?
We are back from the war in Europe. We were in Holland for a while and thought that we didn't really have much work to come back to, so we decided to take up a living in doing the odd job.
Very odd job. Were you planning to do something you're actually good at? I just sort of have a little jab at them, and I just see not much in the way of loot. I think you weren't so very successful in Holland either.
To be fair, we made a good show of it, and you must have been fooled for at least a small moment.
Really?
Oh, come on, throw us a freaking bone, won't you?
I'm trying not to throw you. Just sort of tap him in the head with a knife. I'm trying not to throw something because you are annoying me.
No. How can we be less annoying?
So tell me about the stationer. Is that what you called it? What was this? Who's this contact that gets you these wonderful jobs that you're so brilliant at?
Stationers are a real thing, and they were basically messenger boys. And they, in this system, and probably in reality to an extent, sometimes stationers had limited magical abilities, so they could memorize huge messages.
Mm-hmm.
Then forget them, and then the person that they were to go to would give them a command word, and they would say the message, because they themselves halfway through wouldn't know what they had memorized. So it's a particular type of spell. So, but all stationers, it's if you want to go to the guild, that is probably the most honor-bound guild in existence. It would be the Stationers Guild. They have never willingly given away any information to do with what they are sending. This means that they're used even in war between foreign countries.
So completely neutral.
Completely neutral, right. And it's bound in magic. It's bound in centuries of oaths, and so stationers are typically used by people that don't want to be recognized, but are sending information to other people. They can be used for as simple as sending a postcard to Aunt Alice down in Ipswich. They have been used for simple things like that, but a lot of times they're used for the more delicate stuff as well.
Yeah. So that's
mundane.
Not the line of questioning. Then I'm thinking, how did these people? The stationers don't just randomly turn up. They have had to have advertised themselves.
There is a certain tavern, or a number of certain taverns within Brancaster, certainly in the northwest area, which is known for being the cheap side. This is where most of the commoners and the poor people are squeezed tightly. If I show you the map of Brancaster once more, there it is. Then it will give you an idea. Come on, you come. Here we are. So we're actually there. So this is the northwest part of Brancaster, and this is pretty much where you're going to find them. This is effectively Cheapside. This is the Rookery. This is the area where the 100 officers, the 100 constables, as they were known, who were the city guard, they won't go here. The law is kept unto itself here. This is where the bounding boys are. This is where the equivalent of the mafia are. This is their headquarters. But it's also filled with a lot of upright, honest little commoners that can't afford to be anywhere else. So this is probably who these guys are. The uniforms they were given is probably the poshest stuff they've worn in years. Yeah.
But they wouldn't have known who they were hired by, but they've went there. But
it feels to you as if they wouldn't have a clue who sent them the information, but they did know, because it's sent by a stationer, that they could trust it.
It's can't say for certain, but if they've advertised themselves in a certain part, it's like the Bounding Boys. Consider the fact that we've seen a couple of them very recently, and it's all very suspicious as connected.
Yes.
But those two Bounding Boys may have been the ones that hired these gentlemen. They may have helped the father.
You can't be certain at the moment.
Not certain, no, but that's
there's a vibe going on, isn't there?
Yes, I'm getting a picture.
Yeah.
But obviously not banging the rights, but that's what I'm thinking as a line of inquiry.
Okay.
See what my friends think when they come downstairs. But
is there anything else you wish to do?
No, that's basically
the chest towards the south, by the way, is filled with quite expensive looking linens. This is effectively a nest egg that he must have been keeping. This isn't for trade. This is possibly an investment. And it's filled with silks that have come from the Ottoman Empire, which means that it is probably quite expensive stuff.
Sorry, go on, Lloyd.
No, sorry. Having gone downstairs, I'm going to approach these two ruffians.
Okay.
And as I do, I'll just slowly and deliberately take out my rapier.
Okay.
Yeah. Pick one of them.
As if they're not threatened enough.
Yeah. Just place the point.
He wouldn't have seen my little interaction.
I've already peed in my pants. What more do you want?
Place the point underneath one of their chins.
Yes.
Oh, it has been many, many months since I've been peeved. And you have peeved me. Now, I will give you the choice to spill the truth or whatever you contain inside your miserable skins. Tell me about the merchant Charles.
Charles.
Who is
They look at each other. Okay, could you do a perception check?
That'd be you as well, though.
A 34.
Yeah. Okay, it's pretty obvious they haven't a clue who you're talking about. They look at each other and look back and you says, I don't know who you mean.
Then who is your direct boss?
We don't have one. We're just a gang. We just came back from the wars over on the continent. We thought we'd make a bit of money. We picked up a job at the tavern. That's all we did, honest. We were given this outfit to wear and we're told quite specifically to come down to this warehouse, find a body and declare it a suicide, report it to the 100 constables and then make our exit. That's all we were told, honest. I'll show you the message if you want. It's under my chemise.
God help us if something is under your chemise.
I'll fish it out, saying I'm already sort of.
It's pretty much exactly what he said. It's in quite simple terms. Could you? Oh, okay. No, all right. I'm saying nothing. You get it out and you look at it.
Would I have found that anyway when I was rummaging through their jerkins?
Well, you were looking specifically for money, so you'd have been going around the belt and looking for purses and stuff. So this is actually sort of hidden. So no, you didn't tell me you were looking that thoroughly, but you certainly look at it.
No, I'll not say it was, but I'll sort of go sneaky. Have we been sneaky now? I thought we had an understanding.
No, we have complete understanding. I'll do everything you want.
Let me make myself
There
clear.
Is nothing more under my chemise that you would be finding of any interest.
I don't know. Let me just reiterate here. My gentleman friend will make it quick.
I can see.
I won't.
All right. I think we've covered everything. I can't think of anything else to say. Please, somebody help me. Come on, help me. His eyes look over to his friend and his mate just shrugs his shoulders and says, look, I haven't got anything else to say anyway, unless you want to know where we've been in Europe.
That would help.
We were, for a time, we were with the Dutch army in Antwerp.
Fighting for or against them?
Fighting against the Spanish. What do you think?
The Dutch. That's why you're useless.
We did all right. We survived it.
Yes. Spent most of your time digging holes to put water in, no doubt.
Well, what if we did? We've survived it. And the last thing we want is to end our days in some poxy little warehouse in some poxy little city. So please, we've done everything we've asked and we don't know anything else.
I think perhaps you are a better judge of these men than I am. What do you think?
Well, we can't let them go just yet. I have a funny feeling they'll go squealing back to the tavern. Going at the field, so I sort of motion over to the cellar. Maybe tuck them in for the night.
Okay, so you go over to the cellar. It's got a padlock on it. It's a very simple, very clumsily made padlock.
Okay. Is the sun still down here?
No, he went off. He should be back in about 4 minutes now if they'd made the round trip with the horses. So I'll assume that that they come back around this time, just to make it easy.
I'll just use the hilt of my dagger and just get a wee bop on the padlock.
Okay. After a bit of time, a bit of gemming and a little bit of force, you can actually start breaking the padlock. It's really old.
It's 23 hours.
Oh. Okay. You can eventually you can remove the padlock using brute force if you wish. It's not as if anybody's got a key that would function on this thing that seems to have welded itself. And this hasn't been used for years.
Oh goodness!
Oh, it's going to be lovely in there. You'll like this, gents. We can wedge it with a piece of wood or bar or something anyway, but it's just to keep him out of the road. I know
just gonna go
we're
and
going to
find
skip
a power
eventually, but
supply.
we need a bit of time. So, yeah, get it, lift it up.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm on the move. I'm looking for a good power supply that I can plug in because the darn machine just told me I'm on my last legs.
Technology
You
is-
carry on. I'll go and quickly collect the cable.
Yep. So I'll bundle the gentleman into the cellar.
okay. Well, you open up the cellar and you look down, and the water level is about 8 inches beneath the ceiling of the cellar.
Ooh.
You open it up, and literally, it's black, inky water. And you look down, and you can just see the ceiling of the cellar beneath. And then beneath that, the level of the water by about 8 inches. So if you want to drown them, be my guest.
No, I don't want to go that extreme.
Oh, yeah, well.
They haven't done anything to deserve that. I just want them out of the way for a while. Because I have a funny feeling they're going to go running back to the tavern the minute we leave them.
Give them something that floats.
They're witches. No, don't go down that far.
Set up a Dunkin' jar just for fun.
Well, William's now here, and he sort of goes, "We haven't used the cellar in years. It's completely flooded. There wasn't any room. There wasn't any room down there anyway."
Ah, well. Jim, I'll just we'll secure him to one of the posts then.
Okay.
Now, before we go, gentlemen, I hope I'm not going to hear from you again, or you're not going to get any silly ideas about warning anybody, are you?
No. It's not worth a while.
Really wouldn't be.
No.
But it'll be worth my while to do some not pleasant things to you.
All right. We promise to be as good as gold.
You can stay here for the night. I'm sure one of your friends will come back to check and let you go, and that'll be the end of it.
Okay.
There we go. Job's a good one.
Now you've given them a tour of the house.
Yeah. Well, I had to find the cable. Right.
I just stabbed myself. I think that wasn't clever.
Don't do that. So now they've just opened the trap door with the idea of dropping the 2 guards down there, but they've met up with literally water.
And
Down in
that
the cellar.
changes the plan how?
They don't float too good.
No, it's not a rampage. If we're leaving, what I will do is I'll impart what they told me and my summation that I believe that the tavern is where they've been hired from,
Okay.
and possibly the mafia types. You know that.
So you got the parchment off them to prove what they've said, and now you're going to tell the others what the parchment has said.
Yeah, but also the fact that the conversation I had with them, you know, about going to the tavern, the particular one, what it means, what the connection possibly, the fact we saw the 2 gentlemen, I think they're the ones that have possibly helped this guy on his way.
Okay.
No proof, obviously, but I can join the dots.
Well, we can leave the young lad here to guard these people. I don't think he's going to have any problems imposing his will on them, given what you've done.
At this point, Will goes, have you spoken to my father?
Lad, you need to brace yourself.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry to tell you, young man, that your father has been killed.
What?
It seems that an erstwhile purchaser of
He
this
was doing the
establishment-
books. I left him. He was doing the books. He was all happy. He was going to pay off all our debts. We had money left over for the first time in months.
Yes.
How could he be killed? I don't understand going on. Oh, poor Dad. What am I going to do? What am I going to do?
You said your father had money to pay off your debts. Where did the money come from? Had he made a deal with this?
I think it was to do with the carts. He
The carts.
he received money as a result of the carts. I don't know what he did with it.
I would suggest that we perhaps maybe remove the letter, which seems to be a fake, and maybe the guards, the real guards, should find. Should be alerted to this.
Do you, as I imparted the information, do you impart it to us as well?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Share everything we've come across. Yeah.
Right. So I will suggest that the bottles find their way out the window into the river.
That's a good idea.
Conveniently left.
It's easy to do. I'll take you back upstairs, and there is certainly like a window over the that goes over into the river.
Yep.
So you can basically take them out from here and just drop them out and just throw them into the water here.
Perhaps keep one of them.
Okay.
Just for reference, just in case.
Who
And
wants
if not,
to-
I'm sure. Yeah,
different labels.
As you're looking out in the river and you're about to start hurling the bottles, you realise there's something already in the water. You can see that the normal ripples of the river are misbehaving as if there's something swimming about out there in the darkness. It's just picking up by the light from the torches coming from the actual bridge
How
itself.
close to the landing point is this thing?
It's near the landing point.
Let's get down there darndable quick.
You get back downstairs, or I take it you're all going to follow.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm gonna remove
probably what
that. Going to remove that suicide note, which is
Let's not tarnish a man's game when it's obviously set up.
I'm going to slightly meta game here because you haven't been explicit about it. The message you got from the chemise, have you shown it to anyone else?
Just a group.
You've shown it to the group.
Yeah, that's why we're having to. Have we imparted the?
So shared information amongst ourselves.
I was being a bit pedantic about it.
Yep.
But
that's why we were saying before. Are we
Okay.
talking to each other to see if
the handwriting is identical to this.
Right. So it is from Mr. Hemsley. That's a surprise.
Yeah, but what about these wagons? I've brought the horses so we can go and follow these wagons.
Yeah, the wagon.
But at a conservative estimate, there's possibly going to be about £80 in money worth of weaponry there. This is a considerable amount of weaponry, and you've also got to consider that Lord Craven at the moment is straining. He's already built up an army of almost 1,000 men, which for a single county is quite a size, and half of them have been given to the king, which means that now Craven is now in a position where he's desperate to try and build up his forces again. So thinking about this as a political whole, there's something going on here. It's almost like somebody already knew that Craven was going to get into this situation and was already storing up stuff.
Yeah, profiteering from the...
Possibly, yeah. You make your way quickly downstairs. I'm just going to make sure I click on the right thing again. But I just wanted to make sure, because otherwise we wouldn't have got that connection.
Yeah,
and you look through that door, and as you open the door, now in a D&D world, this might be okay. In this world, when you see one of these, about the size of a large dog, crawling up onto the road, this is something that's in the territory of Edmund. This is supernatural. This is something that the rest of you are going, what the... This is about the twice... It is about 4 or 5 times the size of any rat that you've ever seen before.
It's like being in London.
This thing, I mean, this is what's silly, that in a D&D game, this is like the bog basic first level. In the real world, This is something that is like, no. And to the extent where I'm going to make you all roll a trauma check. Apart from the witch hunter.
Yes.
It's a big rat.
I have made it by 13 points.
Good.
There's sterner stuff.
And my level of peeved has significantly increased.
Where do we
What
find
does-
trauma?
Left-hand side, I think.
Oh,
It's-
trauma resistance. Oh, yes.
Yep, that's it.
I'm stoic. Yep. Got a 12. Nice. I think we all grabbed a bottle each, so I'm going to have one of these bottles. I'm going to
Mr. Clubman, have you made it?
Can't find it.
Sorry, where was the trauma?
Where is it?
Top
There's a
left,
little
under
box on the
it,
left-hand
point-
side box of 4 things.
Left-hand side box. I've got.
Yeah. It's below spellcasting speed, spell resistance, toxin resistance, then trauma.
Oh,
I
no,
don't-
it's not on
It's
my,
not on
my
mine.
sheet.
Isn't it on your sheet?
I've got 3 boxes.
Okay, let me just, I'm just going to tell you what it is then. I'm surprised. Okay, I'm going to double check that on my, when I print out the next
Oh, the
set
outlaw
sheet.
has. Yeah, the clubman does.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're built of tougher stuff.
Trauma
Yeah.
resistance is power times 4.
All right.
All
Power, so 44.
Power times 4.
Oh, 5%.
Nice.
I've
16.
seen bigger rats.
I laugh
16 out
in
of
the,
54, 52.
I laugh in the face of giant rats.
Seem way bigger.
Whip out the rapier and let's skewer the darn thing.
I've seen worse looking actual rats.
Oh, come on, guys, I did my best. Okay, right, you rush forward towards the rats. This is a rat fight.
Hmm.
Okay,
I'll be honest with you, I'd rather face this than put my hand in that man's chemise.
Well, you don't know this didn't come from a shimmy.
Some of us are prepared to put the hands in the chemise so you can keep yours clean.
Where's the rat? Where's the
I
rat
think
catcher
the
when
rat
you need
has
one?
marginally less hair.
you'll still need to roll a check for your hitting with a rape. This is the true nobility of the gentleman. The first thing he chooses to attack is a vermin.
A poor innocent animal.
It's a poor innocent animal, however big it is.
Animal.
Always punching down.
A 31.
Easy hit. So
Easy lemon squeezy.
okay. So your damage, please.
Okay. It's a 6-sider required for that bit. Where's my 6-sider gone?
I don't know.
Well, yeah, I don't expect you would. Hang on. Okay, 6 and 4. That's a total of 5 points.
That's enough. You basically skewer through it. It sort of turns on its side, looks up at you and goes, "Why?" and then just collapses on the ground with blood oozing out of the wound. You draw the sword back with a sort of a surgical precision.
Can back that and eat
The
that
only
later.
person, the rest of you have made your trauma check, but the person that's the most resilient, which is Edmund, there's something else that troubles you that's not about the visual sight of the rat.
Oh.
These rats shouldn't be here. This creature should not be here. So what's going on in your head through your experience as a witch hunter is that there is something really, really bad going on here. This isn't just about a warehouse. There is something much more supernatural. You're talking about what's called a rip in the veil. The veil is usually reserved for people that die and their souls go to their appointed place. And then you pass through the veil. Ghosts are beings that can't quite get past the veil because they've still got stuff to do on the planet Earth.
I feel some spell.
A creature coming back through the veil like this from another realm of existence. This means there's a hole in the veil. This means that there's something very distorting in a very spiritual and supernatural way.
Evil at work.
There is
Evil at work.
You have no idea what might be the cause of this evil, but you know that this is suddenly become a hotspot of. This is a ground zero.
It's the
Just because of
Spanish.
this.
Spanish
Can I-
Inquisition.
In which
Yes.
case, can I cast detect evil to see if I can see if detect the source of where this.
Of course you can. Now, with spellcasting, this is how it goes. You've got a spellcasting check. You've got modifiers based on the etheric jar that you're carrying that make it give it a bonus. Okay. You have 3 goes at it.
Okay.
And you don't lose any magic points until it's cast. If after the 3rd go you fail, then you can't do it on this occasion, and that's all that happens.
Okay. So would spending extra points on this, how would that affect the spell?
You can spend.
Would it increase the radius?
You can make it do what you want. So if you say so what's the current detect evil? Is it 2?
It's 2, yeah.
Yeah. If you spent something like 8, then I say, okay, you add 20% to your chance.
Right.
Or you can say, you can exchange the range of where you're looking.
Yeah.
So it's up to you. It says, if I use 8 magic points, can I make it do this?
Yeah, so I will do that. I will spend I'll spend it for myself. I'll spend 8 magic points to make it 10.
Okay.
To try and trace where this creature's come from.
Excellent. Okay.
So my spellcasting. D E.
And you have 3.
Spellcasting. Where's spellcasting?
Right in the it should be. It's either on the back of the sheet. It's going to be under on the bottom left-hand side. I think I'm trying to remember.
Spellcasting. Yeah, I found. Oh my god, I'm not as good as I thought I was.
No, but you've got modifiers.
Yeah, so I've got +5 because of my cross, my theory.
Yeah, and then you've got +20 because of the.
Oh, we've got +20.
Yeah.
What's
so you're basically +25 altogether.
Okay, very good. So that's me.
And also, I've got other circumstances that might change it as well.
And I can make 3 attempts, so I should be okay with that.
Yeah, let's go for it.
So +25.
And I also want you to roll a 20-sider when you succeed.
I've lost the bloody spellcasting thing again. Where was it? There it is. So 35, 25. Okay, that's 60. That's not bad. First attempt is a success.
Genius. Okay, roll a 20-sider.
20-sided dice, come on. 14.
No, nothing superb. Okay, I've shown you this map because I'm now going to show you. I don't know if I can do this. I'm going to use the pointer. The magic is you are currently about here. Okay, the dead rat is there.
Yeah.
There is nothing intrinsically evil about the rat.
Right.
Okay. However, directly beneath your feet in this area here, where the water is, it's not a strong evil. It's just an aura. It's directly beneath you, about 15 feet down. And this whole area is almost like a gas of evil, if you like. The other thing that you will note about this is that this is seeping out into the river.
Yeah.
Almost like it's got some sort of infective quality. But also, at about here, underneath you, there is a very, very obvious barrier that's stopping the evil essence going further, as if there's been some sort of ward that's been put in place beneath you. Right. Does that make sense?
It does, yes.
Yeah. So it's like there's another room further on in this area beneath you, which has been warded against your detections.
And So it seems there is some evil taint beneath us that's seeping out into the river. Maybe the source of this creature, this unholy abomination, this mutated creature. But it's hidden behind this flooded basement, this flooded cellars. Perhaps
you can.
I'll kind of mark out on the floor where I think
Okay.
this barrier is across here. So perhaps we might be able to. I'll say this. I shall start to see.
You draw a
if we
line
can-
roughly there.
Yeah. So it's a dirt floor.
This is a flagstone floor.
Right. So I'm going to start. As I'm saying this, I'm going to start seeing if I can
Yeah.
leave it up on the flagstones on this side.
Remember that on this side, it will be almost impossible. It's been there, as you know, because of your architect history role. This floor has probably been here for about 200 years.
Don't we want to be going down into the flooded basement?
Well,
I've just asked Hugh, can you swim? How deep is the water in the basement?
It'll be at least 15 feet.
Oh, Hugh, can you swim? Can you think?
Let me check.
can we?
I don't care if you can't.
Is the level
I'm not
of
very
the
good at
right-
swimming.
Is the level of the
When he-
river
First, we've got two.
below
Um,
the level of the building?
Strangely, the water is at a slightly higher level than the level of the river.
Did we let those two guys go? We could
No.
No, we've
No,
still got them.
they're still there.
Stand
Yes.
them down. See if they
That's
can
what I
swim.
said. Where are we swimming? We've got two swimmers with us that we can use.
Hugh can be substitute.
Yeah.
We'll do
The source of the
anything.
water is
Look-
probably not the river.
But then again, can we come back and sort this? We need to find those muskets.
Those wagons.
I think that's a bit more
Exactly.
important. They had like a 30-minute head start. They now probably got like a 45-minute, an hour start.
They'll have bought a villa in Spain by now.
Well, we'll not be able to follow the track.
We have our horses. Should we not sally forth?
I did go and get them. That was the
That's
plan.
what they're all standing patiently in the warehouse at the
But
moment.
you've been busy skewering rats, and then our
Should we split the party or should we? all-
warlock friend here
not a key, yeah.
says there's something evil here.
oh yeah, we're still in problems.
If we're dealing with 3 wagon loads of musket, of very good quality musket, then the firepower we will face will require all of us.
Well, we need to get them before they're distributed.
Yes, I don't
I agree.
fancy fire facing 3 boxes of a handful of muskets.
if it's just the muskets on their own without gunpowder or anything else, they're useless. So if we can intercept them before they get into the hands of people that have the gunpowder,
I agree. I agree.
let us. hurry.
Okay.
This building's not going anywhere, is it?
No.
Well, very well. This is true.
So, okay, it's up to you guys where you're going to
Yes,
head.
see you another day, full of evil.
Can we try and track this wagon?
was- that was
I
the
might
way-
not be able to track it. So
That was the warehouse. I'm going to give you a chance. There's nothing impossible. So,
Trucks,
Percival,
carts were heavy enough, so they're good.
I do.
yeah,
have a track
Percival,
skill.
you already saw the track in the wagon itself, so you've got a good chance because you already know what you're looking for.
Okay.
But so it's up to you where you go or where you think you should be going next.
Okay, let's walk the horse outside and
Okay.
try just to keep following one of the wagon dents in the ground.
Okay. The rest of you will have a chance because he's pointing it out to you, so it's not just him.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I'm going to treat it like a spot hidden
Okay.
Okay.
because it's not as if there is sort of dirt and mud on the road, so it's possible. But you can either go with tracking or spot hidden. Both of all of
I'm
you.
not going to be able to follow this.
I've
Ooh,
got a
my
bit of
tracking's
track.
pretty good actually.
I've got a bit of track. But what is
They're
that?
both the same for me.
I will go with spot hidden.
I daren't ask what they are, Lloyd.
If I was
I've got
smuggling, I'd head
4%.
straight out the south gate.
So 4% out of 28.
That's excellent.
So,
Oh wow.
Oh wow! Okay, that's a total. Okay, so you actually They've certainly got.
Soldier boy.
They've certainly gone this way. Through the south gates. So I'm just going to. So this is what you're looking at.
I got a pass too.
pardon me. Oh, nice.
So you make your way. You can see these are gates, and now you've got to a point in the evening where this is obviously surrounded by a guardhouse and stuff, and there is just 2 guards either side of these doors, and the doors have now been shut because of this time of night.
Let's ride the horse up to the gates.
Okay. They don't even question you. They basically says, "I hope you have a good evening, sir. It's dangerous out there tonight. It's going to be pitch black out there. You sure you want to travel in the dark?"
Absolutely certain. I have.
Very well, sir. They basically immediately pull the gates back, open them up for you. You can see the road going off into the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
The moon is half full, and you can see the clouds scudding across. But the moon is providing enough light to give you a sort of a dull gloaming that goes off through the countryside. And you can see every so often little pinpoints of light coming from crofts and farmsteads.
He'll give the guard a shilling for you and your friend when you get off duty.
Oh, mostly kind of you, sir. I hope you have a good evening, then.
I undoubtedly will. Let's get a move on. We'll get to a canter, I think.
Okay.
I think we can assume the carts will remain on the road until the first turning, after which we'll need to track them again.
Look what I've done. So, obviously, you keep going, following along at a sort of quite a trot. What do you do around here?
Check the tracks again.
Okay. So have a quick check. All of you, either tracking or spot hidden.
I failed.
You know what you're looking for, so there is a degree.
Oh my goodness! I've
Okay.
got a 5% chance of tracking and 5%.
You've gained. This
It
is
had
so
to happen
exciting.
one day.
But by the way, anybody that gains, remember, you get to roll percentage again, and if you are over
Look,
your
I've
current
been
one,
that.
then you can build up your skills. So you kind of add up to 10% if you're lucky.
What's the betting I'm going to roll a 4%?
No, it doesn't matter. Go on, have a go. Don't forget that.
28.
Fantastic. So you were doing so Clubman, you were doing the you found the tracking before, so you can basically see if you've improved as well.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
Okay.
I've been doing that in the background. Yeah.
Okay, because you I'm just keep reminding you, but you basically, because of those rolls being so perfect, you can see the whole track, and it looks like they follow the track, and there's the left-hand wagon wheels have rutted themselves into quite a muddy area, so it's almost like you can all follow them as they keep going along here and off. You keep following them for some time now, until you get to, it's weird, it's like about 2 or 3 miles further on outside of this map. And you really are now in the wilderness between places. And then you see off to your left a turning to a farmstead.
Stop there. Let's do our tracking again.
Okay. And it's pretty obvious that they've headed down there.
Oh.
Okay.
Just checking to see if I've not there. I didn't expect you to get here this evening. That's fine. Okay, I'm happy. Bear with me. I'm just going to
Imagine how that rat feels that we left behind.
add.
Man, I was expecting a fight.
We'll go back for the building after.
Oh, darn it. I left the rat. I should have taken the head and had it mounted.
We left drinks behind. We left a rat behind. We left
Where's
a portal
William?
to wherever behind.
Are you telling me you didn't bring the Madeira?
Have we left William behind in the warehouse with the two guards?
Yes.
tied to a
and his dead father.
pillar?
Yes.
Oh
I'm
my
sure
God.
they'll be alive when we get
Yeah.
back.
No trauma there at all.
No, but
not
he'll
at
be
all.
fine. Just whatever. Right, I'm just
If
going
you've
to
read
throw.
rats, you know how it's going to go.
I'm just going to throw up a couple of new images because I didn't expect you to be here. Okay, so I'm just going to throw this one up first. Partly because I really like the drawing of it and I was quite proud of it, and then I'm going to give you this one as well. Bear with me. I know I feel unprepared, but then you've taken an interesting turn, guys. So I'm quite pleased about this.
My
Okay.
doctor regularly tells me I take a turn.
Oh, that's quite a big one. Okay.
Oh, thank you for noticing.
I was referring to the size of the image.
That's what the doctor said.
Yes, that's social media for you.
Okay, here we go. Bear with me. There you go. Right, so as you look down, you can see this in the night.
Yes.
You can see basically a farm, trees off to the right, hill off to the left, and obviously a wooded area. You can notice there's a dovecot, you can see a barn to the left and the main farmhouse, and there's also lights on in the main farmhouse. And this is definitely the way that the carts went.
Do we know who owns the farm? Can we use
You've no
local
idea.
knowledge?
This was Mr. and Mrs. Anonymous of Anonymous World. You really haven't a clue.
I suggest we tie the horses at the bottom of the track and approach on foot.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to walk into a farming family. There's
No.
potentially going to be a gang, at least.
Hmm.
There's a lot of trouble it's being gone to cover these carts.
fire to the
that
house,
track
then? Set fire to the house then.
Far to the house.
Let's not be hasty.
I'll tell you what, if it had been the Sealed Knot playing this game, they'd have been doing this the whole time. The first when I actually ran this game, it wasn't this particular one, but when I ran a game called Nature of the Beast, the first thing one of the Sealed Knotters wanted to do was assassinate the priest that had asked them to do the job. Can I kill him? I went, well I'm not.
I'm almost certain I can put a name to that person.
And then he wanted to start a fight in the tavern to see what would happen.
Now I'm definitely certain I can put a name to that person.
Anyway, so you get off your horses, and what are you going to do now? It's pitch black. Well, you can see what it looks like.
Let's keep close to the wall because it'll give us some cover and
Okay.
follow the tracks.
You keep following the tracks. You get to the point where you can see just about. Oh, let me just use my thing there. Just there, you can see the farm gate. You can get to the point where you can actually get to the farm gate. There is one small light issuing from this barn here, and you can see that there are lights on the ground floor of the main house.
Any sign of a wagon?
No, but you can see definitely a barn, and there's some double doors there.
Yep.
It might be the
Any
barn.
sign of people walking around or a guard being posted?
No.
Should we?
I know
check
it may
to
be a
see
little
if
impertinent of me, but who brought firearms?
firearms.
Yes.
Flintlocks, muskets.
I don't carry firearms.
I have a flintlock.
Excellent.
Prefer to be
I have a
up close and
sword.
personal to make sure it makes a difference.
However, this, if we're going
I
to
will
go that road,
allow
this
you
sounds like
guys,
knife work.
because of where you are, I'll allow you to see this map because it's pretty much telling you what you can figure out.
What were you saying, Colin?
You're about here at the moment, just looking round and looking across here towards where the barn. You can see where the trap marks are.
Right.
Sorry, I was saying
Almost
this isn't
certainly.
flintlock work. This is knife work, nice and
Yeah.
quiet. If it comes
Yeah.
to that,
If we can keep it quiet, that is ideal.
Should we perhaps see if the carts are still in the barn? Obviously, they're not going to be in the house.
Yes. Absolutely. I suggest we do not go mob-handed.
So should some of us check the barn while rest keep a watch on the house, make sure there's no.
keep a
What-
watch in the
what-
house, and if people come
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
What's the distance
Drop.
between the gate and the edge of the house?
From there to there,
Yeah.
you're looking at about 30 yards.
30 yards.
What's the weather like? Is it dry? Is it
Excellent.
It's pretty much. It's dry. It's cold. It's windy. If you look at that, it's pretty much as you're looking at it.
You shouldn't have mentioned setting fire to anything. You've given me ideas.
That is an option if things go wrong, but
Yeah.
we're trying to get eyes on the wagon to see what's in it to confirm what we suspect.
I'm gonna watch the farmhouse while you
Okay.
guys look at the barn. I'll just make sure that nobody comes out of the house.
It's
I think you're
alright.
right. The barn requires knife work and a certain deft touch. I will stay with you and keep my pistol trained upon the farmhouse. If someone comes out, I can put them down.
Pistol? Oh, bloody hell! I've not got a pistol. I can't. I'm a soldier.
As you're having this conversation, you see this door open. Out of it, there comes a lone figure. He's staggering slightly. He's going, I was walking on the alleyway and, oh, bloody hell, I feel a bit poor. Oh. He's carrying what looks like a small firkin, like a beer barrel. And he's sort of slightly swaggering. He's obviously drunk off his head. He looks at the gate for a short while and goes, get out of my way. And then realizes that the gate won't get out of his way. So he tries to kick it open and it won't. Bloody gate. And then he finally manages to figure out how to get it open. And he then continues, completely ignoring you, not that you're obvious, walking round to here and slowly goes to the thing. And then you see him rap on the double doors. I've got some beer for you.
Advantage.
I say, I have got some beer for you. If you don't want it, I'll have it.
Just look at the other guys. Time to take a risk, I think. Let's quickly vault over the gate, pull out the pistol, cock it, and just walk up behind the guy.
I'll be right behind you.
Okay.
Percival.
Someone's going to open this door.
Anyone else doing anything?
Should
I'm watching the window.
Did someone say shoot just then?
no, I'm saying somebody should watch the farmhouse in case there's anybody. We don't know how many people are here.
Okay.
Oh crap!
Well,
I'll sort of I'll move over kind of here and see if I can make my way around and get to the side of the farmhouse while they're doing that.
Oh, okay. I just thought.
Okay, so three of us will go to the. Yeah, three of us will go to the
Okay, so
farm.
you're making your way to the farmhouse itself. When you get actually to the walls of the farmhouse, you can hear the sound of quite a lot of people in there. It's a sort of a weird, like, this is not natural for a farmhouse to actually have this many people singing drunkenly.
Oh dear.
And so you're sort of around this area, sort of going, sort of listening, going, okay. In the meantime, you've just gone straight up to the back of the guy with the barrel, and he sort of looks at you, and he just sort of goes, I'll just put the barrel down if it's all right with you.
Call your friend to open the door.
I have been. He puts the barrel down and staggers forward and goes, excuse me, I'm all right. He stands up again and he goes, why are you pointing that thing at me? Who are you?
Smack him across the cheek with it, knock him out.
Is the door open? Are we going in? Should we just go in? Because they think it's him, so should we just go in? They probably.
The door hasn't been opened yet, and it sounds like whoever's in there hasn't come forward yet. But so you're effectively just going to knock him out. So you're going to look like the hilt. Okay.
Yeah. Well, if he's going to start to make noises that are not of an advantage to us, like, why are you pointing a pistol at me? You're darn right I'm going to knock him out.
Okay, I'm going to assume that you just knock him out. It's not like he's a combatant at the moment. And he falls over on the side with a slump. And then you look round at your colleagues and and then are you just going to go through these doors?
Can you open these doors silently?
I'll listen at the door to see if anybody's coming.
Make a listening check. Meanwhile, back at the house, what are you guys doing?
Who's at the house with me? Is it just me?
Just you.
Just me.
Can't hear anything.
Can I perhaps peek in through one of the shutters, in through one of the windows?
Okay, this is where it gets quite interesting. You can see about 4 or 5 other gentlemen of a similar rough leaning, and there is 2 women in the room with them.
Oh.
One of them is serving drinks and is looking terrified. She's a teenage girl. And the other one is a lady in her 40s who is trying not to cry. One of the guys has got his arm round her, and you can see that he's talking with his face really close to hers.
Right.
Sounds like they invited themselves in.
Yeah, it does. No. Bugger.
Are you going to do anything with the unconscious person, or are you just going to try? What are you going to do, guys?
I'm guessing that if he's that drunk, he's not going to do an awful lot at the moment. Let's deal with the door and whatever's inside.
Okay. Did you do a listening check at the door?
I didn't.
He was frozen. He just froze.
I think Horrific did, but I think he said he failed by the sound of things.
Okay, he failed. Okay.
Confirm when he gets back.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Shall we try to open the door?
Yeah, let's just do it.
Okay.
Let's just rush them.
Okay. So let's move to this one. Why does it keep doing that? Okay. I'll just let you see this. There's not really nothing much to hide here. Okay, so this is what you see in front of you. You've got the interior of the barn. You open it up. You can see that these are covered wagons. There is 2 covered wagons here, and you can also see that there's all sorts of goods in the corner here. The stairs go up to like a mezzanine level above here, if you know what that is. So it's a second floor that just covers. I'll just quickly badly draw it. So you've almost got a second floor that covers this area. And you go in, you open the door, and there is a dull lantern light on the second floor up here, and the sound of snoring.
Okay. Try not to make too much noise. I would like to quietly make my way up the steps.
Okay.
Can I? You said the wagons are covered. Can I just check? Are the goods still in the wagon?
They certainly are.
Right. Then I will follow upstairs.
Yeah. Okay. You make your way up the stairs. As you're going up the stairs, you can see that there seems to be just 2 people sleeping up on top. You're not sure why they're here, but they're just fast asleep. One of them appears to have a wooden tankard in his hand, but he's gone to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You can also see there's a couple of bottles which are nearby.
Quietly draw the rapier and put the pistol back in his coat.
Okay.
He'll just look at his very outlawish friend. Yeah. Just indicate the steel and walk toward the nearest guy. Not going to touch him with a rapier, but just put it to his throat and just wait for the preparation to be made at the other chap.
Okay.
Is Colin frozen?
Frozen again.
Oh, bless him.
Well, I'll do what Colin was going to do. So I'll
Okay.
I've drawn my sword or my dagger, and I'll
Okay.
hold it to the guy's throat.
Okay.
You're back again. Hello. Yeah, we found two guys on the mezzanine floor. I've just, without touching him, put my rapier point toward the neck of one of them, and I'm now watching you to see what your next reaction is.
So this is the mezzanine area up here.
Right.
Pardon me. Up here. So it's on the first floor. They're sleeping about here.
Yep.
There is a lantern on, which is lit dully. They're obviously fallen asleep. They've obviously had a drink. And he's just placed the rapier at the throat of one of them.
I'll draw my dagger. Do you know what? We don't need these people. We don't need any. We just quickly. So. Just
Okay. Okay. Are you going to... Okay, I'm not going to say anything. So what are you going to do?
I'm just going to pull my dagger. We'll nod, and then at the same time, we'll just plunge into one each.
Finish them.
Okay.
Quickly. No mess about.
Okay, easily done.
You might want to question them to find out who else is here. Oh.
We don't know him. Don't forget, we don't know what's at the farmhouse, but we've suspected this could be an entire team. We need to do this quickly.
Agreed.
Well, you already have.
Yeah. Did you say you'd spotted musket downstairs?
Yeah, the guns are still in the... well, they're in one of the wagons. I didn't check them both.
Then let us avail ourselves of some long-barreled musket and double shot them.
Can I ask about the about a spell again, Simon? If
Yes, of course, definitely.
so, the this might be brilliant, or it might not be. It might not be.
No,
Conduit. Do I have to see the people I wish to affect with it?
If you, yes, you do have to know they're there. You have to be able to see them.
So would peering through what I can see through the
Easy.
And how long does it take to cast?
As long as you want it to take, because
Okay,
it's basically 1 minute, and then you just keep it going until you've sucked all the.
Right. So I'm gonna
Brilliant.
I'm gonna cast conduit and attempt to drain all of them, bar the two women. If I can
Okay.
exclude
So
them.
let's. Okay, I love this. Right, the effect is 10-foot radius, so you'll be able to.
So I'll expend the rest of my magic points to increase the radius.
Oh my
to
giddy
include them
aunt.
all.
Okay. Bearing in mind, that this is a cyclical thing because it is. Okay, let's have a look. Siphons 2 magic points per round, thus 5 donors will release 10 magic points. The problem is what are you going to do with the magic points?
Well, in which
More
case,
ready.
I will use the 12 I've got left plus what's in my etheric jar.
Yes.
And then I will the magic points that I draw out of them. I will use it I'll absorb them myself, and then it's surplus. Put
Obviously, so it's basically you fill it back. You fill yourself back up with them completely,
and the etheric jar as well.
Okay.
Using their magic points to drain their magic points.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Brilliant.
And just blow the rest out.
Nice.
This is going to be gently filed away in my future use library.
Okay, I've just rolled some various checks here. You start it going, and it's roll your chance. You've got 3 goes at doing it.
Yeah. So what bonus do I get to that?
Well, it's up to you. How about it's basics 5 magic point cost. So how much do you want to use to?
So it's a 5 magic points.
You can extend if you want to extend the radius to fill the room.
Yeah. How
Then
many points would that take?
20 magic points.
20 magic points.
Yeah.
Right,
So you're
I've
basically going
got-
to drain them to knock them all out.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yep.
So I've got 12. The jar there's 10. So that's 2. So there's 20. So I've got 20 points to cover the entire room. And that gives me 2 extra points. I
Yeah,
can
but
use.
after one round, you will be getting the equivalent of about 12 magic points back around.
Right, so I'll just pour it back into the spell and just make it more and more effective.
This is what I'm saying, that you can actually just keep.
Just keep doing that. Just pour it back. Just pour it back in to overcharge it.
I love it. I love this. This is genius. Go on then, have a go.
So what would be my base chance is 35.
Yeah.
What?
Well, that's not changed because you've changed. What you've changed is the actual radius rather than the chance of doing it.
So I've got 2 points left. So if I can use that to increase the chance as well.
I will. Yeah, let's have a look at it. Okay, I will. No, I'm going to be strict. No,
okay, so it's just enough. 35. Just 35.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Come on, let's see what happens.
Let's hope this works. 2.
Oh my Gideon.
2.
That's it. Roll a 20 sider. Roll a 20 sider. Let's make this perfect. Come on,
let's be honest. The rest of us could have stayed in the pub and drank Madeira.
Have more Madeira.
It's
again.
Still there
2
waiting.
again.
Oh, never
2
mind.
Again.
Okay. If it had been a 19 or 20, then you'd have done a perfect one, and it would have been quite interesting. Okay. As it stands, you're just going to stand there, and the only problem you've got in a way is the experience that you're personally having with this exchange of magic, which is almost too much for you to bear. It's sort of like you've never tried this before. You're right on the edge of your abilities. You're certainly roll a d10 now.
Roll a d10. Ooh. That is a 6.
Okay, add that to your spellcasting skill.
Oh wow.
That's automatic because this is just such a bizarre spell. And they're all drunk anyway.
Yeah.
Which means that they are just
susceptible.
They just all start falling asleep, and you've basically omitted the 2 women, haven't you?
Yes.
Okay, so you can do that. You can actually pick. And over the next 5 or 6 minutes of doing this, you watch as one by one, well, it's not that long, about 5 minutes, one by one, you start seeing them literally slump down and stop trying to sing and stop being lascivious to the women, and they all just collapse into a paralytic heap on the floor. And after a while, there's none left that are doing anything, and you have never felt so much magical energy in all your life. And if you wanted to expel it on something really powerful right this minute, it would be devastating. Seriously.
Oh.
You like a vampire.
This is where instead he just explode.
Absolutely.
But it that would just
be something.
Yeah, there would just be I don't think I've got anything that be any.
Go back in time.
You
can go get our drink. Wait, you can teleport our drinks to us from the bar.
So it would have to be some spell I've got, wouldn't it? So
yes, it would.
I don't think there's anything. I just want to ensure maybe like drain it. Just drain them to the extent that it would take them out for hours.
Okay. I'll accept that. Basically, they're out cold.
Yeah, just to like.
Okay.
Just
they're out cold.
Obviously, it's not going to kill them, but just to like drain them till they're just like
Okay.
to be get out for whatever.
Okay. You basically stagger away from it. You're almost out cold yourself, not because you've not got magical points, but because you're not supposed to be in charge of so much. And you sort of like stagger away, and you're almost shocked by yourself by what you've just done. So what are you going to do now?
Well, if I don't see the others coming out of the barn by this point, presumably the 2 women inside are going to be a little bit spooked by what's happened. So I will.
The fact that all of them are collapsing all at once.
Yes.
Yes.
I imagine that's a bit scary. So I will make my presence known, and it's fine. It's fine. You're safe now. Just help me tie them up. Help me secure them.
Of course, I'll go. Well, one of them goes, "I'll go and get my husband. He's been locked in the bedroom." And the girl says, "Thank you, sir. Whoever you are, thank you."
Have we found any powder or shot for these muskets?
Have you found any powder of the shot for the musket? Have you? You've been looking in the carriages.
Yes.
25 boxes containing about 100 musket.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
One box contains 5 flintlock muskets.
Oh, nice.
You know the difference between flintlock and matchlock, guys?
Yeah, matchlock is they have the like
With a bit of string.
Yeah.
Okay. 12 flintlock horse pistols.
Oh, well, that's
Nice.
one of them.
6 drums of slow match.
Okay.
20 buff coats.
Thank you.
4 chests filled with Morian helmets.
Oh my goodness.
One of the chests contains 20 gauntlets and 20 pauldrons. There is there's 18 crates filled with cognac and sherry.
Aha!
Cognac, yeah.
We'll just
At last,
leave the
something
muskets.
worthwhile.
And sadly, that's all you see.
Oh, shit.
So who
Okay.
are we going to sell all this to, Percival?
Oh, I know.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It's like,
Well, first of all, before we sell this, we are going to have to sell a dummy. Collect yourselves a flintlock musket, cock the weapon, and let's go for the house, shall we?
Yeah, agreed.
They don't know we haven't got them loaded.
Okay. Okay, so you get yourself. This has taken them some time. So you in the house, you are unaware what's happened in the barn, but they are taking their time. So you have gone around. The wife has decided has found enough yarn to basically tie them up. You've disarmed them all.
Yeah, definitely.
Whilst you're doing this, you will notice something. And it's because of what you're doing that you will notice this. Yes, I did put it in. All of them have got new tattoos on their wrists.
Oh.
The
Oh God! More of
Mafia
these.
part of the.
Do these like significance of these?
Particularly
real
for you, you can make a religion check or a local knowledge check.
Oh, local knowledge is 15. Religion is 60. I think we're going with religion. And I've got 4.
Okay. This is specifically, certainly the sword and the tears refer to a very obscure saint. His name is St. Colin.
Colin.
The other thing, so this is a cross. This cross refers to the Brethren of Enoch.
Oh.
Okay, let me fill you in on both those. Once upon a time, about 50 years ago, Elizabeth Tudor had her very famous pet warlock. His name was Dr. John Dee. And Dr. John Dee believed that the prophecies of the future and the way to greater wisdom and enlightenment came through the Book of Enoch. Okay?
Yeah.
And after he died, there was a mysterious fringe Christian cult calling themselves the Brethren of Enoch. And they dedicated themselves to the path of correcting the ways of the royal family. What they believed is what Elizabeth Tudor had done, which was marry herself to the nation itself.
Yeah.
She was famous for saying so, I am married to the country. And they believed that this was the duty of all monarchs, that they recognized that they were first and last married to the country itself physically, and that they had within their possession a mysterious rite known as the Banais Raigi. They knew that James I himself had already been through this rite when he was King of Scotland at the age of bizarrely 9 months. Because at that time, Mary, Queen of Scots, who was his mother, insisted on it. When James I became King of England in 1603, he became very, very intellectual, very high-minded, very Christian, and believed it was a pagan rite and wouldn't even start doing it. And from that point onwards, there was a rise in what was called the Brethren of Enoch for the sole purpose of correcting the ways of the royal family, because they believed...
0 hours.
Thank you. That so long as the monarch was not married to the country would end in chaos. And so far, they have been proved to be right. This tattoo represents the Brethren of Enoch. The other one, St. Colin, he is effectively the saint of fairies. This is very strange. This is a very, very strange tattoo.
Would fairy law give me anything else?
Yes, rather go.
Yeah, it's not very. I ain't got a lot in it, but I'll give it a go. No, that's a big, massive fail.
Do one more local history as well.
Local history. My local history isn't great. Where's it gone? I've gone blind. Local knowledge or history?
Try that. Local knowledge is good.
I've got very little in that. Oh, but I passed with a 5.
Genius. Okay. Okay. I'll let everybody see this. There is one more piece of information that is pertinent to this whole business. Not that. Come on, let's find the bleeding map. Where's it gone? Where's the bleeding map gone? Okay, I'm going to show you the whole... Oh, is it there? No, it isn't. I'm being an idiot. Right, it's late. Right, if you look at the... Well, oh no, it's the wrong map. Shut up. I'll show you that one instead. This is the one. This Cheapside, nasty little part of Brancaster has one secret, one that you know of, and as soon as you see the tattoo, you are aware of it. And that is this little building here is a little chapel dedicated to St. Colin. It is known as the Poor People's Chapel. This is where people go who are in their utter state of desperation, and they go there to ask the, shall we say, the glimmering folk for assistance.
Yeah.
It is the closest the Christian church has ever been to acknowledging that the fairy folk have a place in the world through St. Colin. And so this is what the poor people, the superstitions, possibly still Catholic peasantry, go to when they ask for help.
Right.
And it's a tiny little out-of-the-way chapel. There's a proper church here.
Yeah.
But this little
church.
Yeah. So this is a little tiny chapel. It's innocuous. You've never been there yourself. But it's hardly ever mentioned. And it's something, as soon as you see that tattoo, that pops it in your head. Hold on a moment. Isn't there such a place in Brancaster?
Could I make a real perhaps? Is there something that ties this this idea of the monarchs marrying themselves to the land and perhaps the Fae?
Absolutely. Well, one of the big stories you know about with Elizabeth Tudor is the fact that she was very public in her acknowledgement and her cooperation with the fairy folk, particularly the Seven Sisters, who were the rulers of the Glimmering Lands. And it is said that there was times where she openly, particularly just before her coronation and during such times as just before the Spanish Armada invaded, where she openly had meetings with them in court, and they appeared in court.
Yeah. Si, given that we've again lost one of our number, probably due to a router problem, do you think it may be worthwhile calling a halt this evening and then restarting tomorrow when hopefully he's going to be back online?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a good break.
Shall we call an end to it and then carry on tomorrow?